Am I audible? That's it.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes.
Okay. I hope everyone joined. I don't have the attendance list. Okay. So we will start. Okay. So welcome everyone for the ISO 45001 2018 Lead Auditor course. Okay. So this course is for lead auditors, you know very well. That's why lead auditor training course. So this in this course we will detail study about what is an audit, why any lead auditor. We will go through the standards also, ISO 45001 standard requirements we will learn. We will go through ISO 19011 2018 yeah, guidelines to audit management system. That also we will go through this training. My name is Amit Joshi and I will be your trainer for this ISO lead auditor course. And I'm an auditor also. So I hope whatever evidences or whatever I learned through my experience when I was conducting auditings and all, I will try to help you through that. So how to conduct an audit, what all things you have to think, how I am collecting evidences, how I am thinking during audit. Every auditors have their own perspective. Mine is like a different one. Mine will be different, yours will be different. The thing, experience you have, there are so many people who have more experience than me, who have attended a lot of internal audits, maybe external audits also, who have conducted internal audit, who have attended external audits. So your experience will be entirely different from me. So this will be moreover like, other than a classroom session or something like that, we will make a discussion together so that I can help you. Some of you will be having some doubts. You saw something, the auditor wrote like this. Because before, I still remember, recently I attended a lead auditor training, and it was like the students were sharing some thoughts related to that. Like the auditor was writing like this in the report, why it is so. So we don't have what kind of argument we have to make. So all those informations we will discuss. I will give you some examples. We will work it out. It's not only like learning. We will practice it also throughout this section. That is the reason why that's a 5-day class. So in this 5-day, we will go through the standards, some extra details I will be giving, some documents I will be sharing to you to make you more understandable related to ISO 45001 2018. Some other standards also I will try to touch. We will just touch. I cannot go to environment. Mostly you will be seeing HSE, yes, health, safety and environment together, but this is only for 45001 2018. Yeah, occupational health and safety management system. So in the introduction, we will discuss about ISO, why ISO, who is making the standards, what is the role of ISO, what about the other national standard bodies. Every country have their own. British standard, UK have their own. Then Emirates here in UAE have a national standard body. India have, Philippines, Pakistan. Every country have their own standard body. So all those details we will check. So meanwhile, I will check some ground rules. I want your mics to be muted. I'm seeing some mics not muted because someone is coughing, someone is talking. I don't want to disturb the class. I don't want anyone to get disturbed. Everyone can sit calm and do the training. Should do. It's not mandatory that you have to switch on the camera. You can switch it off and you can relax and you can learn. Okay. So any doubts you have, either you can break me, you can cut through and ask me, or else there is a chat box right away. You can ask. We have one participant offline in our training room. So whatever he's asking, I will repeat the question and we will make a discussion together so that they also understand. Okay. So in the beginning, we will take some time to understand what you are doing, what are your activities, like the job position, current job position, why you are taking ISO lead auditor, from which company you are, what's your name. I will suggest we will take some time to understand. We'll take some, let me understand you. Then only I will be able to connect, right? Every companies work in a different way. Yes. Standards are same, but some companies it will be applicable, certain things will be applicable, certain items will not be applicable. For example, there are so many companies, for example, like us, we are a training institute. We are mainly into education, trainings like that, auditings. In health and safety, we are certified for ISO 45001 2018. But in compared to a construction site, most of the clauses, maybe the construction site will be having more documents, more forms. We will not be having that. Maybe we have prepared, but no need to use that. For example, a contractor pre-qualification. No, we are actually we don't have that much. We don't have actually contractors, to be frank. So those differences are there. So this is this introduction. You're saying you want to see me, Davis? I can't hear you. Can you unmute? Okay. I asked him to unmute. Okay, no problem.
I was just asking, is it possible to see you? I don't know if I'm seeing you. I'm only seeing
my camera is off. My camera is off. That is the reason why you are unable to see me.
Okay, no problem.
I'm saying you can even switch off your camera and you can relax. No problem. Online have so many advantages. Even I am taking advantage of online trainings for me for my own purpose. Some trainings I'm attending by myself for my CPD. So no problem. Relax and attend the training here. Some wanted offline trainings due to several reasons. It's not for some candidates it's a personal. They want to see, listen, because they fear that if they go home they may sleep. Chances are there. Things can happen like that also. Okay, so we will start from here. I have Mr. Zishan with me. Zishan, right, sir? Yes. Yeah. I know him before also. I have conducted health and safety trainings for the company. So I will start with him. He will introduce himself, but I'm not sure you will be able to hear, but I'll translate. I mean, I will repeat, not translating. Why I should translate? Okay.
As you know, my name is Ishan. I'm working in a combined contracting company. We are main contractor, and under us there are a lot of contractors. So, purpose of this course is that being a main contractor, so company should be able to conduct internal audits and coordinate with the external audits documents requirement. This is the main purpose for this training.
Okay.
For learning the ISO standards.
Yes. So you will be auditing your subcontractors also, yes. Right? Okay. So we will discuss these points later on. Today itself we will discuss. Till 6 I am planning to take this one, 6 or 6:30 mostly. But as much as possible data we will like the informations we will share today. Keep on going one class, you will learn certain things. So why he want to audit a subcontractor? What type of audit is that? He also told that internal audit. So what is the difference between a contractor auditing a subcontractor? The auditing we are doing for our own company. Some other companies will come and audit us. So all those informations we will try to discuss through this one. So Mr. Zishan, he is a HSC.
Yeah, I'm HSC coordinator.
Yeah, he is the HSC coordinator for combined group. They are a main contractor, mainly into construction. So that's about Mr. Zishan, and he said his purpose. Okay, he want to focus mainly. He want to understand the standard, and he want to attend the conduct internal audits, and as well as he want to conduct other audits or attend audits. For that purpose, he is doing ISO lead auditor. So it is self-initiated, or this your company? So his company is required for that. Okay, good. Then next, Mr. Davis. Why what you are doing? Why ISO lead auditor?
So for me, actually, I am a security guard. Okay?
You are a security guard.
Yeah, but I did Nebsoh IGC and I passed. I have my certificate.
You completed Nebsoh IGC.
Yes, sir, I did.
So you are improving your competency.
I'm improving my competency with the anticipation of getting a job. So is it
getting a
necessary
job
for me to do?
Yeah, okay. Competency is
What
a,
is the,
yes,
what is
yes.
the advice to a person like me taking this course? I'm already a post safety officer, but I don't have a job. I'm looking for a job and I'm doing this course.
Okay, okay, understood. I understood. Okay, okay, good. Then,
So how which category will you put me in?
sorry,
Which category will you put me in, or how will you advise me?
your voice is actually breaking. Can you please repeat the question?
What I'm saying, how will you advise me on
To
how
get a job?
to proceed? Yeah.
To get a job, actually, okay, okay, we will come to that point. I will okay, I will tell now itself. So ISO lead auditor for freshers and experienced people. I will tell you the difference of ISO 45, how it is going to, can you mute? Okay. So how it is going to help people in a different way. One is a fresher with ISO 45001, 2018 lead auditor. The other person is an experienced health and safety officer who is going to take, okay, who wants to take an ISO lead auditor course. In two different aspects, I will tell you. For a fresher, it is like to show the competency. Competency only. Competency plus we can say that to understand how a management system works, especially related to occupational health and safety. He need to understand because he is new, he don't know anything about what a company is doing or what are the documents. Suddenly he is entering. Because nowadays, if you see, most of the students have Nebsoh-IIRSM, most of them. So differentiating between the students is very difficult for an employer, segregating, because same Nebsoh-IIRSM, he will find some 10, 20 people for the same job. So they always look for more competency. Competency means skill, experience, and knowledge. That is called competency. So competency means skill, experience, and knowledge. So that knowledge you are acquiring through this training. So as a fresher, when you join a, like for example, if you have Nebsoh, you can go for safety officer. But if you have another lead auditor course, there are other positions like HSC representative, management representative positions are there. Some companies even, they will not be doing any kind of construction activities, but most of the companies who are following ISO standard, there is a post, there is a designation or a job available as a representative. So they will be only focusing on the implementation as well as the documentation, collecting forms, attending audits. I know so many people only doing this job. Less work, more payment. Because most of the company do not know how to, they think that it's a big thing. And that is good for us also. Let them think like that all the time. This is big, this is big. Actually, it is big. But moreover, collecting the documents, implementation, monitoring, that is very difficult. That's a difficult part, which is going to create some headache for us also. Because if, for example, if it is a group of companies, or if it is a big company, like for example, combined group, it's a big company. So collecting a document from every workplace or every site area, it is very hard. It's not that easy to get. Sometimes they will say, sir, I forgot. Once he says it's forgot, done, we cannot recreate that. Some companies will create documents backdated, which is actually not good.
Yes.
Through ISO standard, any of the management system standard, our focus is to get or give a continuous improvement for our company. Continuous improvement, continual improvement. We will try to improve continuously. It's not like for one time, this year we will improve, next year we don't want, not like that. Once the standard system is inside your organization, it will always give you that chance to improve continuously. That is the main benefit. For a person who already is working as a safety officer, for them, they will be mostly attending internal audits, external audits, second party audits, like that. Several audits they will be attending from the client, customer, or external third party organization. This or internally also they will be attending some audits. So this standard will improve their knowledge. They are already in the system, they're already working in the system. They're already working with their team, other teams. Maybe they will be also an internal auditor also. Most of you are internal auditors. But this improving this knowledge will get you in the position like being a lead auditor. There is a chance, like there is a requirement, standard requirement that an audit team should be led by a lead auditor. Maybe that is the main reason your company, like Mr. Zishan, he came here for the lead auditor course. Maybe your company is thinking like that. Let Zishan lead the team. For an internal auditor, there should be an audit team. Internal auditing, there should be a team. For that team, there should be a leader. So that leader should, the qualification or the competency of that leader is the lead auditor. A lead auditor course is required or certificate is required. So that in both ways, this is how it is going to help you. For one, it will help him to or enhance or the probability, or we are safety people, we will use the term, the likelihood. It is very, to get a job is very likely for a safety, for in safety or technically when we speak. For the other person, it will enhance the knowledge or the competency will improve. Clear? Davis?
Yeah, yes, sir, it's clear. It's clear now.
Okay, then next, Farooq, can you please tell me? Can you introduce yourself? Farooq? Okay, Nazir? Nazir?
Hi, yes.
Hi, Nazir. Good afternoon. How are you? Yes.
My name is Nazir Arif. I am working as an HSE officer in Amana Contracting Company since
Okay.
10 years.
So why ISO lead auditor 45001?
So I hope that if I get this certification, I can get the authorization to do the audit in our company, in our project itself.
Like internal audits?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, okay. Good. Okay. So he's here to increase his or improve his competency. Very good.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Thank you. Liti.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm Liti. I'm working with ADNOC in Musaffa, and I am working there as an HSE coordinator for the last 10 years.
Okay.
So the purpose for taking this course is that I just want to know more in detail how to do an audit, what is being audit, and what are the important and what are the requirements. This I need to know in detail. That's why I took this course.
So you are already, you will be attending internal audits and all, right?
Yeah, I have never attended because they are asking me to attend some audits as an observer itself, because but I didn't attend as I don't have any certificates for this audit courses.
Internal auditor course also you didn't attend?
No.
Okay.
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 Thank you, sir.
Okay. Mark.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mark. How are you?
Good, sir.
Mark is my
I'm-
Nebsoh student. So I know Mark before. Yes, Mark. Yeah.
I'm Mark Joseph Saturno. I'm working in Samarian Health Hospital. I'm OHS Assistant Safety Officer. I'm attending this course because competency and some learn some knowledge about the internal and external audit for the ISO 45001.
Liar. I told you to take the ISO lead auditor.
Yes, sir. Also, you are
I
the
was
one
telling
also.
my students from Nebsoh, I told them to improve your competence. The same which I told you. Nebsoh, wherever you go, 1,000 Nebsoh now itself, if you put an interview in your company, 1,000 students or participants will come with Nebsoh only.
Yes.
So let the employer differentiate between a person, because most here in Abu Dhabi, you know, OSHA, Occupational Safety and Health Organization, Abu Dhabi. So they have special interest in the implementation of health and safety in Abu Dhabi. So there are no companies who are already approved by OSHA. Somehow there will be an audit, external, internal audits, whether it is ISO or OSHA, there will be audits we need to attend. So let the lead auditor course make that difference so that you can show your efficiency during the audits. You will understand how this course is going to improve your knowledge or how you are going to implement them. Okay. Yes, Pradesh. Pradesh.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Pradesh. How are you?
Yeah, myself, Pradesh. I'm working in Nail Bin Harmal Hydroxport. It's a construction company.
Which
I have
location?
been I'm working in a project in Banias,
Banias. Okay. 7B,
Riyadh City
4B,
project.
which one?
No,
7B?
no, yeah. No, Ponds and Railways.
Okay.
Yeah, I have been working as a HSC engineer here.
Okay.
And for the purpose of this course is I have to attend this internal as well as external audits from the consultant and client.
Okay. Good. For NBHS last
Thanks.
time, I think I did the external audit for them. I did external audit for your company, Oshad.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Mansoor. Mansoor.
Hello.
Yes, Mansoor. Yeah.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Good afternoon to everyone and to you, sir. I am working as HSC senior officer
Okay.
in Harari Natural Resources Company, and I applied for ISO. Actually, I applied for the IMS. It's 3 courses to improve myself and to know more about ISO. Actually, I have, every year I'm getting ISO audit in my company.
Okay.
And mashallah, every year they are giving me NCR. But inshallah, I want to know more, so to improve myself and to understand how they are working also.
Okay. How to tackle the NCs. That's your focus, huh? So that's your objective.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So we will tackle some NCs this time. Next time the external auditor comes, but don't underestimate the external auditors who are coming to audit. You are more experienced than you. If you plan, okay, this time I will be, it happens all the time. Maybe you would have experienced the same. Last time the auditor will come and will find some NCs during the, or in the operation aspect, or for the operation element, he will find so many NCs. So we will be ready with operation. Whatever he comes, we are going to defend. But he will find something else this time. So that is, I told every person, the perspectives are different. If being an HSC officer or HSC coordinator or a person who is in health and safety, your aim should be always welcoming the audit. You have to always welcome the audit. If you say the auditor right in the beginning, sir, I'm ready for NCs. Just give me a good audit report, then you will be able to improve whatever system in your company. But you know, every one of us know that there is some problems with our employer. Because our employer, when they see NCs, the moment they are mad, they will say, then what you are doing, we are going to take you out. We don't want just to terminate him. This kind of, this fear actually this fear actually is losing the genuinity of audits and audit reports. But I have seen so many HSC offices. Recently also I have done an Oshad audit. The person was excellent HSC manager. He said that I don't want I don't want an audit report without NCs. And once I started writing NCs, it was like, I think 10 major NC, 6 minor and some observations. And I gave some opportunities for improvement also. He said, I'm happy. Let the management think whatever it is, but I hope I can make them understand what is this actually means to, whether it is improvement or it is a blame, feedback or a suitability assessment. All these things we will learn. Okay.
To highlight the problem of the company by the external person.
Yeah. Sorry. Yes. That is true. He was telling me. The term he used, I will tell you, sir. Audit is the only the point in a company where we can tell the auditor, sir, you put this comment as an NC so that I can bring that particular item or material inside my organization. Even he suggested me, sir, my company do not have an AD. Can you put it as a major NC? I said, okay, I will. For me, what's the problem? He said, yeah, sir, better. Because I'm asking them for so many times, they are not bringing an AD inside this company. They are saying that's based of money, not required. Sometimes the point in this cases, the organization will think that we don't need health and safety, or why we need a health and safety. That's a negative culture, right? Negative culture, positive culture, all these we learned in Nebsoh when we were doing, right? Think and feel is very important in health and safety. If you think safety is required, if you feel, or if you want to feel health and safety is important, then only the organization can move forward without any risk to health and safety in your organization. Okay, the management system, or ISO 45001:2018 Occupational Health and Safety Management System, OHSMS. Their focus is also the same. Control the risk such that everyone in the organization, or everyone is safe in the aspect of health and safety. Health and safety, both are important. Okay. Before that, let me introduce you ISO. I haven't prepared, actually. I thought the introduction class is over. Then when I was having a conversation with Mr. Sishan, he said that the introduction, they need more. But I'm not going to give you big introductions, but I will give you a good introduction. Okay. So ISO is International Organization for Standardization. Every one of us know that. Every country you go, there are more than 100, or not more than, there are 170 countries are members of ISO. 170. It was 168 before, and some additions came, and now it's 170 member countries. UAE, India, Philippines, Pakistan, so many countries are actually member countries of ISO. ISO is a non-governmental organization, non-governmental independent organization. There is no government influence. Some people think that it is from UK. Why? Because most of the standards have been adapted from British standards. So they think that ISO is UK organization. No, that's an international, non-governmental, independent organization, which Switzerland. It's based in Switzerland. It is started in 1919, 1947. It is founded 1919. They have started some works. Okay, so this organization actually have 170 members, which we discussed. So every member countries have their own, or a place in ISO. If you go to UK, US, Canada, there it is called International Standardization of Organization, International Organization for Standardization, IOS, not ISO, they named it IOS. If you go to Germany, Spain, if it is UK, it is British standards. If you go to India, Indian standards. Emirates have their own standards. So all these are called national standard bodies. National standard bodies. Okay, so all these standard bodies are members of ISO. That is this 170 member countries. Okay, every country have their own vote. Their own vote. Every country have one vote each. Why these votes are for? Because ISO never creates any standard. They do not create any standard their own. For example, they feel like, okay, OSAS 18001. Okay, now it's boring. It is too old. Let us bring ISO 45001. It is not, that decision is not taken by ISO. That decision is taken by every member countries in that organization. It's like a change or a new standard. If they require, they will raise that to they will raise that to ISO. Then that question or that suggestion or feedback will be circulated through all the member countries in that organization, and they will tell them to start voting for it, for the change. So OSAS 18000 was changed to ISO 45001:2018 based on that. So they together from some feedbacks from the companies, from certain industries or certain areas, they collected some feedbacks. Based on that, they improved and made the new standard, which is now you are going for ISO 45001:2018. Okay, numbers are very important. 45001. If 5 is changed to 41, it will change to Facility Management Standard. Facility Management Standard, FMS. So numbers are very important. So throughout this session, I will be using 45K or ISO 45 like that. In short, we can use that. 45,000. Maybe I will use 45,000, but make sure you don't get confused with that, with the usages I'm going to make. Because another example, why the confusions? ISO 9001, you know that, Quality Management System. That standard is called the mother of standards. First came the standard which brought was 9001. But there is another standard called ISO 9000, which is the vocabulary and abbreviations related to 9000 is provided by ISO 9000. So if I am using 9000 means there will be a confusion. But no need for 45,000 because 45,001 is, yeah. So 45,001, when I am using 45, you remind that it is 45,001. Okay. Then, so there is an approach for every standard. Same approach, PDCA approach. And there is a cycle we are using for that is Deming's PDCA cycle. Plan, do, check, act. All these standards are based on this cycle. Deming's PDCA cycle or wheel or whatever you can say. Normally we use the term PDCA cycle or PDCA approach. That is the term which we are using. Okay. So we were discussing about ISO. So like I told you, after the votes from every country's ISO will change the standard, they will develop the standard. So nowadays you are seeing that things are getting integrated. Like Mr. Mansoor, right? He left.
Yes, Mansoor, what do you say?
Mansoor was saying that I opted for IMS. So he used the term IMS. You are also familiar with IMS, Integrated Management System. So that's a question. What is actually Integrated Management System? What is a management system? This integrated, separate, management system, separate. Because every standard we will use quality management system, environmental management system, occupational health and safety management system, OHSMS, MS. Every standard, facility management system, information security management system, business continuity management system, so asset management system. So all these are like at the tail end, every standard there is a management system. So management system is nothing but we will create some procedures and processes to achieve an objective. That is management system. The management system will help you to create some processes and procedures to achieve an objective or goal. Yeah. You will be creating a document in your company, or you would have seen objective, targets, and plan. There is a document in your organization. If everyone's excuse me, if for everyone in your company you have ISO, not everyone. Davis, I know. What about others? Your company is following ISO?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Okay. No problem. I will show you the documents also. Just meanwhile, we will discuss this. So this objective, targets, and our objectives, that is nothing but, for example, one objective is 0 accidents this year. That is an objective. Or else we will say that the next year, whatever near misses are there, it should be reported. Average training hours per employee should be greater than or equal to 4 hours. That's an objective. Target is 4. Our target should be always greater than or equal to 4. Like just an example. So if we are covering that 4, we are successful. That's an objective or a goal we are setting for an year. Okay. So in order to achieve this objective, we need something to process. Either a process or a procedure is required. Randomly we set something and everyone is going in different directions, we will not be able to achieve the goal. In order to achieve that, we are creating some procedures or processes. So that is called a management system. Management system will help you to create some processes and procedures through which we will achieve some objectives or goals. Okay, that is management system. Now coming to integrated management system. Integrated management system, simply I can use with one single word. 2 or more ISO standards together. If we club or if we introduce in a company, we say that that's an IMS. It can be, the common one is 9001, 14,001, 45,001. We call it IMS, Integrated Management System.
Yeah, our company have a three.
Three, your company is having three. Very good. Now I am preparing for a company. They have 9,001, 27,001, 41,001. That is also IMS. Because there is a misconception that when 9, 14, and 45, when they come together, then only it is IMS. Otherwise, it is different. No. More than 2 standards, if you are integrating in your, or if you are bringing into your company, we will say that that company is having an integrated management system. Why we are integrating, or what are the benefits of integration? Okay. Before, in the olden days, like I told you, 9,000 was there before, then 14 came, 45 came, like that. When 2012, there was a requirement raised. Discussions were going on. They first implemented that in 2012. They were thinking that we need some changes, like 9,001, they have to prepare separate documents. I'm a consultant also. So when I'm preparing a 9,001 document for a company, I will be having 18 procedures. 18 procedures will be there minimum. Depends upon the company changes, but 18 procedures and 44 forms will be there for ISO 9001. 45,001 similar, but not less than that, but similar, sometimes more, because health and safety requires more forms and we have to prepare. 14,000 also same. Sometimes there will be common forms also. For example, objective, targets, and plan we will create. That's a document we create. If we are creating for quality, that will be one. For environmental, there will be another one. For health and safety, there will be another one. Why we can't make a single document is a question. So they were struggling with preparing more documents, confusing. They feel like implementing an ISO is not good. It is very hard to implement inside a company. So they were thinking and providing feedbacks to ISO. And based on that, in 2012, the first standard, that is 22301/2012, Business Continuity Management System. For the first time, they introduced high-level structure. For the first time, they introduced in that management system. High-level structure is nothing but they set a reference, or we say clauses. Some people used to say elements from 1 to 10. Based on this, we will create documents, or we will arrange the standards in this format, in this high-level structure. So it will be, most of the clauses are same. Some depends upon the standard, some specific standard, the sub clauses will change. A sub clause related to health and safety will not be there for quality. Sub clause in quality will not be there for health and safety. So based on this reference clauses, we can integrate them. It will be common, but certain details will be different based upon the management system. So that high level structure is helping us to integrate the management systems. So how many? I know one company who have more than 10 ISO standards implemented. So the first time only you will struggle. For the first time when you are introducing, obviously we will struggle, right? A new system is coming. We were having some habits. We are going to change the habits. We are getting into a management system. So things will not work like before. It will be slow. It will slow down the work. Sometimes it can stop the work also in between. But keep on going. Once we are into the system, introducing new standards is like very easy. Very easy. Once 9, 14, 45 is there, whatever it is the standard, just integrating it is very easy. Just to follow separate documents and procedures based on that particular standard. And more, this company which I told you, like UAE, I cannot disclose because of some policy which I have signed with the company. I can, like the people which I interviewed during the audits, they are very happy in implementing, even workers also. They're saying that, sir, before I was doing this work, I forgot sometimes, but after this standard, some forms came. Now, but that company, from CEO to the laborers, even I had a conversation with an audit with the CEO. He said, sir, if someone is trying to bribe you, please let me know. I am here for full support. And I don't want any audit report without NC. The CEO saying. So that is the approach of the top management for that particular audit. So I was very happy. Whatever they say, I will say no. If you want anything, go on. But they never. he knows their people very well. Whoever is attending or whoever was the auditee during that audit was welcoming the auditor in giving, because auditors always give suggestions to improve. So they were ready for that improvement. Okay, being a person, being an auditee or audit, you should be open-minded. Please welcome everyone, or tell him, sir, can you give me some opportunity for improvement? Or can you please tell me why you chose? You can ask them. It's not like they are. Some people think that the auditors are there to criticize. They are not there to criticize you. They are not there to blame you. They are not there to take your job. It's not like that. Okay. So that is how integrated management system came. So now after integrated management system came, things have started flowing smoothly. No need for separate documents. With one document, sometimes we can cover all the standards. Document works are reduced. Branding, like before it was like bringing separate standards was a big headache. Following for that only they have to hire another person. But now integrated and given a name IMS, integrated management system, made the system more easier. Branding changed, goodwill came. But ISO obviously will bring all these things, goodwill, reputation, because most of the places you will be highlighting your ISO standard. We have ISO. When you are going for, I think we should ask Liti. I know I have prepared for one company for, they want a contract in ATNO. And ATNO gave them a big list of an Excel with all the, whatever they require. So one of their requirement is this ISO standard. That too, for that work, they were asking for facility management. And the company do not know what to do. For ATNO, they need ISO. If you have ISO, we are ready to give you the work. That is the requirement from ATNO. So projects, ISO will help you. The ISO standards or certification is going to help you in getting the projects. Not only the ISO certification which your company have. When they are submitting a tender, they will also show the people who are there, the managers, their competency, they will submit. The health and safety people, their competency. So your lead auditor certification is also going to be a part of this tendering quotations like that.
Yes.
My company is using my certificates to get some projects or something. They always ask me to give the certificates, please, we will submit it there. We have received some projects like that also. Some companies will ask the trainer profile, the auditor profile. We want to see he is experienced or not. He will be able to do a good audit. There are so many companies asking that. They want to see the person who is coming, or based upon their procedure also sometimes it happens. Okay, so integrating or introducing a ISO standard in your company is all, it's a big benefit for your company. It's a good benefit for your company. Okay, then coming to occupational health and safety management system, our focus will be prevention of hazards, primary focus, or a risk-free environment for the employees, for us, for the management, for everyone, whoever is in that organization or whoever is coming out from outside the organization. Some contractors, suppliers, customers, visitors, they will be visiting your organization, right? They will be visiting your offices. So it is our responsibility to take care of them. So occupational health and safety management system will bring that confidence in you to take care of each and everyone's health and safety. Okay, so we will see what are the benefits of occupational health and safety management system. Same integrated management, we have discussed a general one, but OHSMS have its own benefits. Mainly increases profit. What do you think? It will increase?
Yes.
It will increase, right? Because otherwise, you have to tell, sir, this is going to increase the profit. Otherwise, what will be your company's approach will be? No. This ISO, now you are saying that we will introduce ISO 45. No more documents, it will delay the work. This, that, say, tell them, sir, if we do not have a management system, or if we do not have something to control us, things will start slipping away from our hands. The risk, the health and safety of our employees will be under risk. Accidents can happen. Accidents can bring losses, right? Financial arguments we wrote in big boards in Nebsoh. Most of you. or you know the financial arguments, you know the moral arguments, you know the legal arguments, how it is going to impact a company. We know that very well, right? Moral arguments, we know how we have to take care about employees, employee responsibility, we have to save the employee rights, we have to provide them sufficient resources, facilities. Moral arguments. Financial arguments, direct cost, indirect cost. Some companies, I still remember, they do not renew or they do not recertify ISO.
Yes.
After 3 years or 6 years, they will, for a particular project, they want this certificate. That time they will again come back and say that, no, we need a new certificate, which is not possible. Why you stopped in between? Why there was a gap? For gap of 6 years need to be questioned. That can be a negative culture thought. Think and feel is now not right. So for them, it's like only for getting a project they need, but otherwise they don't care about the certification. Is not a good thought process. So we need to change that one. Through you, people like us, we can change the whole system inside a company. The whole thing can be changed. From a person who is visiting till the high risk operation in your company can be made systematic. Through that, we will increase the profit. Like I told you in the beginning, it will delay. Sometimes there are situations in which the companies complain that because of this bloody ISO, the work is stopped. There are situations like that. But the companies who are already into the system, you just go and ask them, so do you have any problem with ISO? No, ISO is there. So what? What is ISO for you? ISO, every year we will go for an audit. That's ISO. A company who are experienced in implementing the system, for them, ISO is only audit. Because the system is running already. They don't have to worry about, or they don't have to separately think. Some companies think that ISO is separate, our work is separate. Not like that. Whatever procedures you are creating is a voluntary. It is voluntary actually. Your company will say that, for example, your company were purchasing items before from suppliers, from contractors. Your company were purchasing some materials or some goods, products like that, services. Okay. Before it was like that. After implementing ISO, the same process, what we were doing, we will write in a procedure for purchasing. Same thing, what we did, we make it a document. And at the end, a reference, we will write that for purchasing, you have to take this form, material request form, material approval form, who will approve, who will, why we should reject, what are the requirements we need to collect from the supplier if they are supplying something. All those forms, we will include it there. Only the same thing happened, or which was happening or talking verbally. What we did, we just wrote in a procedure. That is what ISO. ISO is not creating or telling you to bring, but they have some references, some requirements they tell you. Minimum, some minimum requirements, minimum. Maximum is up to you. That you can decide how long I should go, how I should think. But that minimum requirements from the standard, you must follow. By following that, obviously you're going to increase the profit. There will not be any confusion, no delay. Because of any problems related to health and safety, your works are not going to stop. It will keep on continuing. Okay. Then manages business risk. This one, the point just now what we have discussed is the business risk. So it can be managed by this IOSH ISO. Okay. Increases sales. This business risk, I want to drag your attention to one point. One incident recently happened when I went for a training in one of the companies. I will not disclose. While doing the training, next, not that much far, 10 meters or 20 meters far, there was an accident happened and a person died. So now the business is under risk. An accident happened. So right away, I asked the HSE what happened. Sir, I don't know. We have procedures, but why he didn't follow is a question. All the works of the company was stopped. Business is now under risk. It's likely. Maybe the depends upon, or if there is a clear negligence, we are under risk. Being a safety officer, we are under risk. Or the company, now the goodwill, reputation, everything is lost. Next project, for example, Aldar. If inside Aldar, the accident happened. Next time, if you caught for Aldar, what Aldar will say? No, we don't need these people. They created an accident last time. We don't need them. Don't consider them. Let them leave. Leave them. We lost. Business is at risk, right? Wherever you go, or for example, if a contractor came into your site, subcontractor, he made an accident. In the outside world, the news will spread like combined group. Inside combined group, there was an accident. Inside Nbiz, there was an accident. Like, right? They will not say that a subcontractor when an accident was done. No. Outside, our company's name will be highlighted. So that is the reason why we are creating these procedures. Procedures for managing contractor, procedure for purchasing, procedure for training, procedure for competency, procedure for consultancy or consultation. All these procedures we are creating. Okay, then increases sales. If because of accident or for example, if there is a system and everyone is following the system, means the processes will not stop. Right, sales will increase, productivity will increase. Accident happens means not only the person met with the accident, whoever is watching or who saw the accident will be affected. The whole product, the productivity will be affected, right? Everyone will stop working. It is like that. Any accident happens, we will stop the work, right? We will stop the work for further investigation. The whole productivity is affected. Or sometimes when you come to office, we can say that the sales will be affected in several aspects. I'm not going deep into that, but sales will be affected, or in turn, you can use the productivity will be affected. Okay, then improves employee performance. I gave you a clear example. One employee told me, this is actually, I'm not lying. He told me, sir, my work is very safe. I'm happy. If someone is asking, I'm showing them. We have a system. We have a centralized system. So because of that, and plus the management system standards, my works are very easy. And I cannot even imagine outside that or without that management system standard, how I will be able to work systematically. It's not like only you follow, the rest of us do not follow. Everyone should follow. Then only it will happen and it will be a success. Okay, so employee performance will be improved. A great example is training. Standard have a requirement for training. The training should be conducted before any activity. All the employees should be provided training. That's a standard requirement before any activity. Especially high risk activities, training must be conducted, shall be conducted. We will, I will tell you the difference between the why I'm using the word shall. We will discuss that later on. So with good training, competency is improved. Obviously, he is going to perform very well because the training is provided to him. Refresher trainings we will provide. Internal trainings we will provide. We will conduct safety briefings. So many things are there in the system which we can improve the performance of your employee, which can increase the productivity of your company like that. Okay, then improves relationship with third parties. Third parties like supplier, customers, your consultant is a third party. The people who are coming for audits, that can be a third party. So everyone's, that relation will be a good relation. Some companies have a supplier register form. Supplier, not form, supplier register. If you take all the suppliers for that company, you can see from that form. Some companies rank them 1, 2, 3, 4. There is a ranking system. So that rank 1, 2, 3 are like good relationship with the third party. So they don't have to search. This management system is helping them for all this. Please, I request you to mute when you enter, because okay. So improves relationships with third parties. So these are some of the benefits that the occupational health and safety management system brings for your company. Clear? Okay. So now we are going to discuss the PDCA approach or the PDCA cycle. This is the PDCA approach. Okay. So I'm not going for audit. We will discuss now a general. What is plan, do, check, act. I will take this one. It's not that big. I don't know whether everyone can see online, students.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So there you can see some 4.1, 4.2, ABC, plan, do, check at PDCA. Inside you can see planning, leadership, improvement, performance, support, and operation, like that. Some numbers, everything is written. We'll discuss. So PDCA approach, or plan, do, check, act. Okay. Plan, do, check, act. Stages. I'm going to use the word stages. Plan stage, do stage, check stage, act stage. Okay. So in planning stage, what we are going to do? Just the cycle I'm telling, then we will get into this structure. So planning stage, we will plan like I told you, what are my goals or what are my objectives for my company for the coming year. Objectives, targets, and plan we create for a particular year. For 2022, your company, if they are following a management system or SHAD or ISO, they will be having an objective and programs, or objective and target programs or plans they will be having. So in that, we will write everything. Like I told you, 0 accidents, report all near misses, how many training hours. So training hours related to, objective related to training hours will be there. 0 LTI, lost time injuries, or like so many objectives we will create. Sometimes we will include quality also. Okay. So that is the planning stage. But not only creating objectives will help you. We need resources. So we need to ask our management, sir, we need resources. They will tell the senior managers, okay, allocate the resources, right? The management will tell you, give you the resources. All these discussions mostly will happen in a management review meeting, which happens once in a year. Mostly once in a year. Some companies are conducting 6 months, but management review meeting means top management should be there. Board of directors, managing director, CEO, COO, or whoever it is in your company, they should be there. Why once in a year? Because they are busy people. Mostly they will be talking business, roaming here and there, or traveling for business. So they will not be available in your organization most of the time. So once in a year, we will call them for a management review meeting. Along with them, we will discuss, sir, we have some objectives. What's your suggestion? He will say that, okay, this year, it's not about finance, but regarding health and safety, I'm talking. He will say that, okay, this year, last year, sir, we had an incident. Okay, so we need to change that one. Okay, so this year, 0 incidents, 0 accident, write in the objective. He will suggest, or you can give the input. He can also give. Anyone in that meeting can provide the inputs for objective, targets, and plan. Maybe you should say that, sir, last year accident happens because we didn't conduct that much trainings for our employees. So we need some budget. We need some money for, can you allocate some more budget for health and safety? Okay, no problem. That's a resource. Sir, we don't have anyone to monitor our ISO standards. So there is a little bit confusion for that. Okay, we will appoint a person, or let anyone from our team be appointed as an representative, management representative. This is what it is. These are the resources. So they will release the resources. The managers will allocate the resources. The senior managers, general manager will allocate. We are the people who are going to use these resources or monitor how these resources are running inside our organization, like supervising, advising, like that. We are the advisors. Always I used to use this word, rather engineer or officer. We are the health and safety advisors. Because sometimes, some companies, there is a misconception that health and safety officer means safety briefing, toolbox talk.
Yes.
That is I hate that word. I don't know why, but I hate that word. Everyone will think that, okay, you are the safety, okay, you go and do the toolbox talk, which is actually not right. Right, Liti? ATNOC will allow a health and safety officer to take TBT.
Yeah, we are also doing the toolbox talks.
You are attending?
No, I'm not attending. It is basically for the people who are at site.
Okay. So at site, the people, even ATNOC, in everywhere, it should be like a competent person who can do that work. A supervisor or a foreman or an engineer can give a competent person. Not mark the word competent. He can deliver TBT in the presence of a health and safety officer. He is the one who is going to advise them. No, you say like this. You need to add this point also. Or he will add on. or you didn't consider the environment. So in the environment aspect, I want to give you some points like that. The advising for the employees, for the employer, that should be provided by a safety officer. Not like we are there to go and check, especially not everywhere, but certain companies think like that. So that mindset need to be changed. We are not that kind of people. You don't behave like that. Bring a new that is why in health and this is management system standard, we always put roles and responsibilities for everyone, and we will write what we will do. You have to review that again, go and check what they have written. TBT and all, it should not be there. Give that safety briefings to or something else to the supervisor or the foreman. Let them do. They are the people who knows the work. We don't know. So we know the health and safety part that we can. Mansoor, your camera is on.
My camera is on.
Yeah. Okay. So in the planning stage, we planned everything. We created some procedures. We created some processes based on the standard requirements. Now we are going for implementing it. That is do stage. In the do stage, we will implement them in our organization. One by one, we will start implementing. We will start following the procedure. We will be using some forms and records. What is the difference between forms and records? What is the difference between forms and records? Anyone? Don't go for Google definition. Huh? Give me your point. When simple definition, when it is in your folder without anything written in that, we will say that that's a form, right? Wherever you go, they will give you a form and they will say that, can you please fill this form? After you fill that one, it is a record. This is the difference between form and record. So when I am using the word form means it's unfilled. When I'm using the term record means that is a record, evidence. We have recorded something in that form. Okay, so that is the difference between.
So
Yes.
records means what is it exactly? Like it will be a form will be having a control number, or then only it will become as a record.
Forms will be having the document control number, what she's saying. Forms and records both will be having control numbers. Forms means blank, there is nothing, only the filling part will be there still. When we fill the data, when we start filling the data in that one, we will call it a record.
Same like as a permit.
Permit.
Without filling is a form.
Form.
Once you fill it,
it's a record. It's a record. We can present that in front of an auditor as an evidence.
Yes.
Records can be submitted as an evidence. Forms cannot be. That is the difference.
Yes, okay.
Okay. Nice. So every procedure we will create some forms, which will be circulating in your organization. Maybe you would have also received, right? Yes. Critical checklist in ATNO, TBT, forms, then the permits like you said.
Yeah, hot permit, cold permit, confined space.
Confined space, excavation certificates. Like
confined space checklist.
Forms can be a part of the evidence.
Forms can be part of the evidence. Like you can tell the auditor that I have form. No. Form means no data. You can say that, sir, we have a form for this, but the auditor will not focus on forms. Auditor always
part of the evidence. It's a part of the evidence.
Yeah, you can say that, but the auditor will never consider. If I am an auditor, if you show me, sir, we have a form. No, for example, how form will be an evidence, like he was telling. In the procedure, some companies will put that the reference documents or attachments, and they will put everything. Document control form, training form, attendant form, like that forms they will write. So the auditor will understand that, okay, this company has some forms. Very good.
But there is a training form. And nobody.
It is just a template, no, sir. It will be just a template.
So this form is useless.
Yes. It's a template. Like nothing is written. So that cannot be submitted as an evidence. How that will be an evidence? But the procedure, like the auditor will ask, if I am there, I will ask, do you have any form for training attendance? Yes, sir, we have a form. Okay. Can you show me some evidence? If I am asking you the evidence, I don't want to see the form. That time I need a record. I wanted an attendance sheet signed by some participants for a particular topic with the dates. For a particular topic, that can be anything, confined space training or any type of training, but signed one, approved one, for where everyone is attended. I need an evidence. Auditing is only based on evidences. Evidence-based decision making. That is audit. We need evidence. Without evidence, we cannot. Without evidence, we cannot take any decisions. That based on that evidence only, we will be able to continuously make improvement in our company. That will be possible, right? With forms only, how you will improve? You cannot improve. Sir, I have this form, I have this form. How you will be able to differentiate whether you have fulfilled the requirement or you did not fulfill the requirement? So you need records. The records can only help you in understanding the deviations from the standard requirements. Okay. So in the implement stage, what we will do, or the do stage, what we will do, we will implement them. We will introduce this form, we will circulate this form, we will follow the procedures, everything we will do. After that, we will go for the check stage. That is the monitoring stage. We will check, we will monitor, or we will measure the performance evaluation, like that we can say. We will evaluate how we performed based on what we have created, and after implementation, what is the performance, or how did I perform? Those things we will measure. We will measure the performance. After measuring the performance, we will go for act stage. Act. Now we need to check what actually we need to improve. Plan, do stage, checking stage, we will monitor, or we will check what we have done. Do we need any improvement? If any improvement is required, that improvement we are going to do in the act stage. We will plan for an improvement. Based on that improvement, what we will do? We will measure, we will improve. That planning again we will make in the plan stage. Then do stage. Check, do. Check, act, PDCA. Then this circle keeps on rotating. It will never stop. Planning, checking, implementing, then monitoring, improvement, then after that again planning, like that the cycle keeps on rotating. This is the PDCA approach. Right. So every standard you open, there will be a PDCA cycle. There will be a
act means it is like implement or improvement.
Which one?
Or act.
Act means improvement. Implement. Do stage is implementation.
Okay.
Check stage is evaluation. Act stage is improvement. What improvement we need? What improvement we need? That is the, if you go, there is a procedure for corrective action in your company. Yes. Corrective and preventive action. That is the improvement part. If you go to performance evaluation, that is auditing. So we are going to be a part of the checking stage. We are going to check whether we are fulfilling the requirement or not. Clear? PDCA approach.
Yes, sir.
Not only for OHSMS, for auditing also, same cycle we will be using for auditing also. Okay. Okay. Now you are seeing some numbers: 4.1, 4, 4.2, 6, 5, 10, 9, 7, and 8. All these we will discuss later on when we start the standard. Okay. Before that, I want to ask you one thing. Everyone knows the basic terms, right? Like hazard, all those things. Everyone knows that everyone is an HSA. So I don't want to discuss it more, but certain details I will discuss. I will show you the standard first. Then we will get into audit and all. Just most of you haven't seen the standard. There are two types of standards. For your information, I will tell you one thing. There are two types of standards. One is certification standard and non-certification standard. 45,001 is a certification standard. We will get a certificate for our company.
Yeah.
But 19011-2018, which I told you in the beginning, which is the guidelines to auditing management system, for that the company will never get a certificate. That's a guideline. ISO 9000 is a vocabulary. 9001 is a certification standard, but 9000 is only a reference, non-certification standard. You will not get a certificate. So don't, after this training, don't go and tell your company that we need to get a certificate for something else like 19011. Don't say like that. The difference I'm telling, one, certification standards are there, non-certification standards are also available. Okay. So this is a standard of ISO 45001. This is how it looks like, 2018. The year next to that standard number is the year in which it released. 2018 is the year in which 45001 got released. Before it was OSAS, Occupational Health Safety Administrative Series, OSAS 18001. But now it is not followed by most of the companies. I think they gave the time till 2019 or 19 or something. One more year they gave, additional year, and after that they made everyone migrate to this 45001.
What was the reason behind that? What was the reason behind that?
We will discuss that one. We will discuss that one. From 18,000 to 45,001. The main reason is 45,001 is in high level structure. 18,001 was not in the high level structure. So integration was not possible with OSAS 18,001. But there are other reasons also. Some additions, some improvements were there. Especially one of the improvements were worker consultation and participation. Engagement of people. We will discuss in detail why 18,001 to 45,001. We will discuss in detail. Okay. So coming to 45,001, this is the contents: introduction, scope, normative reference, terms and conditions, context of organization. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. This is the high level structure. This is called.
Are you sharing anything?
You
because I
see?
cannot see. No.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you see now?
Yes,
now
sir.
you can see, yes.
Okay, good. So this is ISO 45001, and this is the content. So from 1 to 10, whatever you see, that is the high level structure or the closest, close 1 to close 10. Our focus will be from close 4 to close 10. 1, 2, 3 are common. We will see what it is. What is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Close number 1 is actually the, here you can see the PDCA cycle. I told you every standard have its own PDCA cycles. Okay. So close 1 is actually the scope of this occupational health and safety management system standard. Like the objective, the benefits, why I need to implement a OHSMS in my company. That is the scope. Okay, the boundaries. Okay. Then normative references. So here you can see that there are no normative references in this document. Most of these participants or students or whoever it is, competent person, they always neglect the normative reference. Word itself, it is there, a reference. So if you go to 9001 standard, you will find a normative reference, ISO 9000. So whatever terms you are going to read in, whatever terms which you are going to read, in this particular standard or in 9001, that there are some terms like what is quality. Quality, that's a broad term. You can give so many definitions, but ISO have given its own definition for that. So that definitions you will find in the normative reference document or the document which is provided in normative reference. For ISO 9001, the normative reference document is ISO 9000. ISO 9000. Clear? The normative reference clear? Okay. So whenever you're opening any standard, that can be 14, 45, 9000, check the normative reference, keep that standard next with you. So while reading the standard 9001, 45 or 14, check the reference document at the same time also. Because sometimes some concepts for you will be in a different aspect. Quality for you, If I ask quality, now itself we will get so many definitions. You don't know exactly what is quality. But ISO will tell you, for us, this is quality. For us, auditor means this. Audity means this is audity. So they have clearly defined who and who is that, who is this, all the definitions or vocabulary is clearly given in the normative reference document. Okay, then terms and definitions. So here we are going to discuss the terms and definitions of IOSH. But for information security standard, business continuity, facility management, they have different definitions. Only for this particular standard it will go. Certain common items are there, like organization, interested party, stakeholder, worker, all these will be same in every standard. But there are some specific, like what we say, see, occupational health and safety management system. It will be only in this standard. In any standard, if you take, you will not find that.
Yeah.
Particular to that standard management system definition, you can find it here. Clear? Okay, so we will go through the definitions. Some definitions are very familiar to you, you know that already, but still we will make a discussion because it's a part of our learning session. Okay, I hope everyone can see the screen, right? Okay, what is an organization in ISO standard? Okay, an organization, it means a person or group of people that has its own functions with responsibilities, authorities, and relationships to achieve its objectives. So objectives we will discuss later on. A small idea I gave you. Objective means our goals, or we have something to achieve. So in order to achieve that, in order to achieve such objectives, a person or a group of people, there are organizations with only one employee. Owner, he will be the owner, he will be the employee. Yeah, there are companies with 2 people only. I know one organization, the Emirati owner, one Lebanon MD or CEO, and one of my friend, he's the HR, he's the accountant, he's the civil engineer, he's the HSE, everything is him. So that is,
but this is a company.
It's a company. It's a big company who are doing works for ADNOC pumps, petrol stations. They are doing some activities for them. But there are organizations like that, but there are some organizations which is very big. For example, Al Futtaim, they have more than 4,000 employees. If you take all together the group of companies, there are some companies like that. There are companies like Nbiz which have 10, 20 like that. So it can be a person or a group of people. Single person also we can call him as a organization. It is not mandatory that you need 10 or 20 people to be an organization. If you are alone also, if you open your own company, you are an organization. We will name you as an organization. Okay, so our main, whatever we are doing with our, we will be having some responsibilities. We will be having some, we will be having some authorities, some relationships, all together. We will try to achieve some goals for our organization. Okay, then 3.2, interested party or stakeholder, both we are using. Stakeholder, you are familiar, but interested party, you are not that much familiar. Throughout the standard, we will be using the term interested party. Certain places we will be using stakeholder also. So interested party and stakeholder both are different. So here we will see what is an interested party. Person or organization that can affect, be affected by, or perceive itself to be affected by a decision or activity. In detail, we will go through this one. So there can be external interested parties and internal interested parties. Like this standard, there will be some people who will have some interest in this standard. For example, your employees or like us. We need this standard. Why we need this standard? Why I am interested in this standard? I want to check how this company is taking care of me when I am working for them, whether I am safe or not. I'm an interested party.
And affected by.
Sorry?
Can be affected and be affected.
Yeah, can be affected, that can affect or be affected by. That can affect or be affected by. Great example is employee. anyone, a staff or laborers or whoever it is in that organization can be an interested party. Okay. External interested parties, your supplier, they want to, or your subcontractor, they want to come and work for you. So they are interested in your standard or this management system standard. Let us check whether we are safe to go and work for them. Are we safe? Some clients are interested in this management system. Why? Because they want to make sure that if you come to their premises, every work will be safe. There will not be any accidents. They are safe, right? They would have asked for your project, right? Yeah. So they are an interested party for you. Your client, your customer, your supplier, government. Government is an interested party, right? They want to check that you are following the legal requirements, standard requirements. You are taking care of your employees. They want to check all these things. So they also can be an interested party.
Example, we are tendering for the project in Saudi Arabia. They gave us a lot of checklists
to follow.
Yes.
So they are an interested party. They are interested, but at the same time, this interest is like whether we will get affected or not while by bringing you inside our premises.
Yes.
That is what they are checking. Interested parties. Okay. Worker, we know who is a worker, right? A person performing work or work-related activities that are under the control of the organization. A person who work or he's doing any work-related activities. Okay, maybe monitoring. For example, a fire watcher. Mostly when a person is welding, this fire watcher will be watching only. Work-related, he's not doing any work, simply standing and watching. That is his job, work-related activity. Okay, you are not going to site, but you are preparing some documents or you are signing some documents to proceed the work.
As a permit coordinator.
Permit coordinator. I was about to, yeah, only to sign everywhere. So he is not doing any work, but work-related activity he is doing, not directly involved in the work. So that person, we will call him as a worker. Worker word, why we are discussing here, because in everyone's mindset, worker means labor. Worker and labor are same.
Who's doing the physical?
Yeah, they are thinking like that, but we are also workers. Yeah, because some companies, if you go, there will be a discrimination. He is a worker, I am the staff. It's not, we are all workers. It's not like I am staff or they are workers. We all are workers. That is the, yeah. Some most companies, not everywhere, but some always think that. It's a misconception which I want to change. That is the reason why we discussed at this point. Okay, then participation, involvement in decision making. Involvement in decision making. So throughout this document, certain places you will see participation is required. Top management participation is required. That means they should be involved in the decision making.
Yes.
Auditing, we need a participation. Not only one person, all the employees in the organization should participate in audit. That means participate in, because audits are all evidence-based decision making. That is why participation I put in audit. You will find in standards, we will find that. Okay, then consultation. I told you the main reason from 18,001 to 45,000 is one point is consultation. Worker, consultation and participation. Worker, consultation and participation. That is the addition, one of the additions which made in 45,001. Before it was like engagement of people or something, but now it is changed to worker, consultation and participation. There is a clause itself is there. There is a clause. Okay. So consultation means seeking views before making a decision. That means anything if you want to do, you have to collect a feedback from even if every workers, not even workers, every workers. Sometimes I also misuse the word worker. Everyone from bottom level management to top level management, you have to collect what you need to collect. You need to collect some evidence, something, some information to make a decision. For example, risk assessment. Risk assessment, we always say that make consultation with all the workers in your company.
Yes.
They will be having something to provide you because they are the people who are very close to the works. They are the people who are doing the activities or the job. So they will be saying that, sir, I have an issue like this. Or by reporting the near miss, by reporting the incidents, first aid case, near misses, accidents, then only we will be able to improve the system, or we will be able to make a good decision, right? We need to write the control measures in the risk assessment. So that decision can be made only by consultation only. So consultation and participation both are required, or one of the key points of OHSMS, ISO 45001:2018. Okay, then workplace. Place under the control of the organization where a person needs to be or to go for work purposes. That can be office, plant, factory, construction site, storeroom, rest area, even your toilets. Everything is a part of the organization. Everything is a part of organization, and we will consider that as a workplace. Whatever facilities which is under the control of the organization, we will say that is a workplace. So next time when you're using the washroom or something, you can say that I'm going to the workplace. You can use that term. If they're asking, this is how we are. I always tell my Nebsoh students, when you're learning something, start using that. Do not elaborate. Sir, I think the probability of this accident or incident is very high. That's a wrong term. You are a technical person. Use, sir, the likelihood is very likely. The consequences are very high. Don't use different terms. You have to use technical terms. Proactive monitoring, reactive monitoring. These things I never hear anything from any of the safety officers at present. Most of them. I don't know why they are not using these terms. I'm not saying to use the workplace like the way I told you, but start using these kind of technical terms or inside your organization. Let them ask you, what is this? Why you used to that one? What do you mean by proactive monitoring? What is reactive monitoring? What is likelihood? Teach them. This is a part of sharing knowledge, right? That's also a training. Okay. Then contractor. So who is a contractor? External organization providing services to the organization in accordance with agreed specifications, terms, and conditions. Providing services. If you supply something, supplier. If you are getting a service, you are a customer. If you are providing a service, you are a contractor. That is the definition for contractor given by ISO. An external organization providing services to the organization. To the organization. That can be, for example, you can consider me as a contractor. I am providing services to you.
Yes.
You are an organization. A person or a group of people can be an organization.
And within his organizations giving the training services to
your organization. Yes. So that is the example. That is the definition for contract. Okay. Then requirement. Requirement is another important term which we will repetitively, we will see this one. And from the beginning itself, I have started using standard requirements. So need or expectation that is stated, generally implied or obligatory. Generally implied means that it is custom or common practice for the organization and interested parties that the need or expectation under consideration is implied. Then a specified requirement is one that is stated, for example, in document. That is an example it is given. So okay, so a requirement means a need or expectation. The ISO 45001 has some requirements for you. I told you, a minimum requirements. That is the term which we will use. Minimum requirements you should follow. So some requirements you will see as shall or must. Shall and must, wherever you see in the standard, that requirement is mandatory. That is mandatory. For example, I will show you right away because we are already in the standard. See, the scope shall be available as documented information. That is a requirement, a need or expectation from ISO. But they have specified that the scope shall, that shall is now dangerous. That means your scope must be documented. We should see that as a documented information inside your organization. So the auditor will check this one. Can you show me this code? Because that is a mandatory requirement. Clear? That is a mandatory requirement. So requirement means it's a need or expectation from the need or expectation, you can say that. Okay, legal requirements and other requirements. Legal requirements that an organization has to comply with, and other requirements that an organization has to or chooses to comply with. So legal requirements means that is another thing, mandatory. Mandatory, we should follow, the organization should follow some legal or requirements. Other requirements means the organization will choose. Okay, we will follow this requirement. Like I told you, different, like for example, health and safety, there are certain requirements which is not applicable for Nbiz, but for combined group, maybe it is applicable.
Yes.
So we will choose. Maybe we will follow this requirement. Maybe we will not. The procedure for, we have actually procedure for management contractors. Which one are we saying? Actually, we have all the documents. That is the problem. Since we are a consultancy, we will create all the documents. We will never neglect. But let me see. I will show you an example with this one. Companies with some documents have. Okay, I will tell you. Not with this standard, but an example I can give you, which is other requirements, whether I need or not, whether I need to choose or not. My company is having a standard 9001 quality management system, but we are not designing any products. So quality management, there is a clause called a design and product development. So since we are not doing that, we will neglect that. But there are some companies who design and do the production like that. For them, that is applicable. But that also, it's not a mandatory. Maybe they need, maybe as per the standards, they are not doing. Sometimes they will say that, no, we will do that. We will follow that. Let us follow the requirement. Like that, they take initiative. Okay. So if the organization is chooses to comply with, we will say that that's another requirement, or legal requirement means legal requirement that the organization must do. They have to comply with somehow. That's a mandatory one. Okay. Then management system we have discussed, even though set of interrelated or interactive elements of an organization to establish policies and objectives and processes to achieve those objectives. I told you processes and procedures we create to achieve some objectives. That is a management system. Okay. So how we are achieving that in ISO 45001? Through high-level structure. Through high-level structure is the elements that helps us to achieve, or that helps us to create some process and procedures to achieve our objectives. Okay, so if someone is asking, because here there is a word mentioned, set of interrelated or interacting elements of an organization. So don't get confused. That is the through the high level structure, the procedures, the processes, the policies through which we will go, and we need a reference. The reference is provided by the high level structure, clauses 1 to clause 10. Okay. Need a break? You need a break? You need a break?
Yes.
When you need a break, please tell me, because when I start talking, I will keep on talking. Okay. Okay, then we will go for a break. 8 minutes. Enough? Or 10?
8 minutes is enough.
Okay, then 3:50 we will join. Okay. We'll come back at 3:50. Welcome back, students. Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
So we were discussing the standards. So we discussed the management system, occupational health and safety management system. The management system, or part of a management system, used to achieve the OHS, occupational health and safety policy. That is called occupational health and safety management system. It's not specific. The general one they told, like how we are going, or what is a management system. Here they have said OHSMS, Occupational Health and Safety Management System, means our aim is to achieve the occupational health and safety policy. Okay. We will discuss about policy later on, OHS policy. Okay. Top management, person or group of people who directs and controls an organization at the highest level. Like I told you, CEO, managing director, board of directors, like that. It differs between the organization. Okay. Effectiveness. This is another important word. Effectiveness. These are common words which we use, but coming to ISO standard, they always differs. Okay. So here, effectiveness, extent to which planned activities are realized and planned results achieved. So effectiveness, that word you can use only and only if the planned activities are you found or you create some plan for the activities, and that planned results should be achieved. For example, I told you objectives, targets, and plan. You created a document. You created that document. So you have plan. If you are able to achieve that plan, you can say that there is effectiveness, or that plan is effective. These kind of terms we will use. So make sure, be careful when you use the word effectiveness, especially in your audit reports. We will be preparing an audit report, so you should be very careful while using the term effectiveness. Okay, then policy, intentions and direction of an organization as formally expressed by its top management. Intentions and direction of an organization. I have a definition for policy. That is the face of an organization. That's the definition I created for myself. Policy means that is the face of an organization. If you directly go, the policy will be displayed. That is a standard requirement. It should be communicated to everyone who enters your organization, to your employees, to all the employees, all the workers. Then it should be visitors, customers, suppliers. It should be, that is the face. In the policy, we will write, we are this, we are that.
Yeah, there is no smoking policy, and people are smoking.
Still smoking.
This is the face of
the company. So OHS policy, if you see, the company would have clearly written about their what they want to do. What are the directions they want to give to everyone in the organization or who comes to their organization? We don't want any accidents, how they will communicate, then how they are committed to legal requirements. All those informations they always put in the OHS policy, occupational health and safety policy. You can find it there. Then the last word is very important. As formally expressed by its top management. The owner of that document is the top management. That is the interesting part. We will create, but the owner of that document is the top management. That can be MD, CEO, board of directors, anyone, but only the policy will be approved. The policy will be considered as an evidence only and only if someone from the top management signs that document. So just creating a document, a policy, and hanging on the wall will not work. As an auditor, first thing you have to check it is signed by someone from the top management and it have a date. There should be a date also, because these policies need to be revised because the context changes. Before COVID, it was something else. During COVID, it was different. After COVID, it has been changed. So our policy also changed, right? It will not go the same. Maybe next year or after 5 years, our policies changes, right? So it should be reviewed. That is the reason why we always look for a date in the policy, in the OHS policy. So policy should give directions to all the employees, and it should be approved by a top management. The top management, CEO, MD, board of directors, they will be the owner of this document. No one else have any authority to change or sign that document. Okay, control. They have the control.
Policy to be reviewed every year.
Yeah, every year, yes. That depends upon the procedure. Your company have your own procedures, but a minimum requirement from standard is it should be reviewed annually. There should be a review. Some companies review that every 6 months. That depends upon them. But a minimum requirement is annual review. There should be a review. Maybe
That is
there will not
supported by
be.
the standards.
Sorry.
That is supported by the standards.
Yeah. Yes.
Which standard?
ISO 45001 2018.
Okay.
Okay. So that's a standard requirement. It should be. But if, I hope if you are following an ISO 45 in your company, check the procedure. In the procedure of for sure, or in the policy itself, we will write that we will review this policy annually for its effectiveness. For its effectiveness, like that, we always put that. Because yesterday I prepared a policy, OHS policy for a company, health and safety policy for a company, and I put that point there. We will review this policy annually. In the policy itself, I have written. Otherwise, it will consider as uncontrolled. No control over it. Anything can happen. Or maybe in the policy, we would have written something, but in real or practically something else is happening.
Intention and direction.
Intentions and direction of an organization is provided by the policy. What is their intention? Zero accidents, no accidents, or we will make sure that we are in compliance with all the legal requirements or regulatory requirements. We will review this one, or any other directions. I will show you one policy. Not our policy, some other policy. Okay. Then occupational health and safety policy to prevent work-related injury and ill health to workers and to provide safe and health workplaces. So if you create a OHS policy, your focus will be to prevent the workers from the hazards or any risk that can affect their health and safety, that can affect health and safety of the person, of the people. Okay. Then objective. Objective, this word we have used several times by this time. It is the result that need to be achieved. Okay. Now, occupational health and safety objective. Objective set by the organization to achieve specific results consistent with the OHS policy. Okay, but most of the organizations do not create exactly like, for example, in OHS, we would have written like, we need this, we will be trying to achieve this, achieve that, like that we will write zero accidents, zero incidents, but everything we cannot put in a policy because policy is only in a one document, single document. So what I'm trying to tell is, don't think that whatever in the policy should be the objective of the company. Objectives can vary, depends upon the situation, or depends upon the activities you are involved into, the projects in which you are working. The objectives keep on changing. Some client demand will be there, but that will not be in your policy. But whatever in the policy should be there, plus there can be an addition also. Some addition results or addition activities which you want to achieve, additional goals which you want to achieve, that also we will include in our policy.
For example, in our organization, there is no zero tolerance policy created within the sign. But for our new contract, it's required a zero tolerance.
They want a zero tolerance policy. So that now, but you cannot put that in the policy, but in your objective targets and plan for the next year, because you are going to work with a new contractor, right? So for them, in the objective targets and plan, what you have to do, you have to put that what zero tolerance policy or zero tolerance for that, for all activities.
Yes.
Yeah.
For abuse, for
everything. Okay. So now that's a challenge for you also, right? You are getting into new challenges.
yes.
But based on that, it is not mandated that we have to change the OHS policy. Zero tolerance policy we will put in the objective targets and plan, which will create in the plan stage. Okay, very good. Then injury and ill health. Injury and ill health is adverse effect on the physical, mental, or cognitive condition of a person. Okay, that is occupational ill health, any diseases. It can be anything, any type, physical or mental. Physical health and psychological health, both we will consider. So any effect on that, we will consider it as an injury and ill health. Okay, wounds, broken bones, mental stress,
lungs infections, or
infections internally, externally, physically, psychologically, whatever it is, we will I still remember when I was working in a refinery, I will not mention which refinery, there was a person who affected with heat stress and he became mad. The body temperature suddenly increased. We have written that the person who is affected with heat stroke will show erratic behavior. But in my career, for the first time, I saw a person become mental, or he lose his mental health because of that. He started running and it took us 30 minutes to catch this person. He's not allowing us to catch. He's running the whole side. We thought at a certain moment he will die because he's jumping from there, he's running. Whether we don't know, he's seeing obstacles, but he's jumping, running here and there. Everyone from every direction one time together came and we were able to catch this person.
He's not exhausted.
He don't know. He don't even know what he's doing. Like that increase in increase in body temperature, lose his, like he's healthy, he's fine, no problem. Only he lose his mental ability. So then I always consider, before it was like, heat stroke means, okay, erratic behavior, a person can fall, dehydrated, but mental ill health also I always add there. People can lose, I always train them, you can lose your mental health. So make sure that you drink sufficient water, you are under shade whenever you get time.
Helmet always.
Helmets, hard hats always. Yes. Okay. Then hazard. Source with a potential to cause injury and ill health. We have our own definition, right? Anything that have the potential to harm you, harm anything or anyone that have the potential to harm. That is called a hazard. So here I also have given source with a potential to cause injury and ill health. That can be a person, that can be a material, machine, equipment, vehicle, it can be anything. If your
Otherwise, don't mention the
environment, like that's a source, it can be any source, anything you can consider. Source that have a potential to cause injury and ill health. Environmental, if it have, you can consider that. If what we say, like the person, that's the reason I used anything or anyone. That can be environment or a person. If your employer is stressing you too much, shouting at you, abusing you, harassing you, abusement, all this, he's a hazard for me. We have to consider him as a hazard, right? So you can include any type of sources. That can be environmental or inside your organization, outside. If you want to, general, we will not consider, but a particular activity maybe. Okay. Then risk, effect of uncertainty, or a combination of likelihood and consequence, which we use all the time. It's a combination of likelihood and consequence, right? Risk metrics and all, we know that very well. I hope we don't have to discuss that in detail. But one suggestion from my side, whenever you are using the word risk, make sure that you consider likelihood and consequence, even if it is in your day-to-day life. Because whatever we see direct, the word which is coming from our mouth that is too risky, very risky. But how we are defining that risk is a question. Being a safety professional, for us, risk, that particular word risk is very important. So don't use it like a normal word. If you're saying risk, or if you are planning to tell risk, calculate in your mind the likelihood and the consequence. I'm not telling you to give the number. Check the probability. What can be the consequence? Okay, that can be risk. That is high risk. I suggest not to go for that. Right? A laptop kept very to the corner of the table. Okay, the likelihood is okay, likely. Consequences very high. Okay, high risk. You can calculate. Or sometimes you feel like, okay, the floor is okay, there is a mat, something like that, or there will not be that much movement of the people. So you can say that it is unlikely, not very unlikely, but it is unlikely. But the consequences are high, okay, moderate. Any metrics you take. But in your day-to-day life, when you're saying or thinking something, think in such a way and use the word so that everyone will get educated along with you. Not like I need everything, I'm not going to give you anything. Then only they will understand. Workers also, if I'm not workers, everyone, colleagues, your laborers, even a single labor, a small labor, you can teach him like this. Check. But I'm not telling you to use the word likelihood or consequences. Rather explain them. You think like that. This will help us also. Next day or next year, next month, maybe next second, it will help you. If they start thinking like that. Clear? Okay. Then occupational health and safety risk, or OH&S risk. Combination of the likelihood of occurrence of a work-related hazardous event or exposure and the severity of injury and ill health that can be caused by the event or exposure. The one which we just discussed. That's it. Then occupational health and safety opportunity, or OH&S opportunity. Circumstance or set of circumstances that can lead to the improvement of OH and OHS performance. Any circumstances, opportunities. There are so many opportunities. Auditing is actually an opportunity. Auditing is actually an opportunity. I will show you, a document for SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, opportunities, threats document. I will show you how we will recognize. Because as an auditor, if you go to any organization for an audit or for your organization, there should be a SWOT analysis should be conducted. That will be, it is not like every year we have to revise that one, but that will be the same based upon the activities we are involved into. Based on that, we will conduct a SWOT analysis. We will find our strength, we will check our weaknesses, we will check the opportunities for improvement, we will find the threats. Everything we will analyze and we will create a table. I will show you later on when we are going on. I will show you one every document I will show. Okay, then competence. Competence we have discussed. Ability to apply knowledge and skills to achieve intended result. I added one more point in that one, experience. Because experience need to be included. Why ISO is not considering, I don't know. I'm not saying only experienced people will be having competency. Everyone will have competency, but experience have direct influence in skills. That is the reason why I am including experience in my competency definition. Experience, skill, and knowledge. Experience and skill have, if the more and more experience you have, like if I am not doing any audits, like Mr. Zishan was saying, if I have been done any audit and I'm coming for an auditor training, I will not be able to give you the proper way. I cannot train you in a proper way. If I am doing an audit, I can give you with some evidences. I can show you, I can tell you how you have to conduct, how you need to behave, how you should stand, sit, what you should wear. I can give you some suggestions, right? So that competency actually I received only from my experience, not from my skill or anyone, whatever I learned. I experienced one by one. I am preparing documents for some companies. I'm preparing documents for companies for OSHA. So most of the company, they have different requirements. So whatever requirement I feel which is sufficient, what I will do, I will incorporate in one document. So that is how experience is helping me improving my skills and knowledge also. Knowledge we can gain from trainings, seminars, or any webinars or anything, whatever you attend, it will keep on increasing. But experience and skill is a mandatory in competence, which I will do. Without that also is possible. Like as your ISO is saying, the ability of applying knowledge and skill to achieve an intended result. Okay. Documented information. This one I showed you that information required to be controlled and maintained by an organization and the medium on which it is contained. Information required to be controlled and maintained by an organization. Any documents, forms, records, forms and records, all these are documented informations. Okay, then the medium on which it is contained. Some companies, they will only prefer soft copies. Some companies say that they need hard copies for everything. Some companies will say that both. There is a company in UAE, they do not have any permit, like for example, ADNOC have an electronic permit system. Now WMS, they have installed a port section, Abu Dhabi port, if you go, they have permit signed digitally, electronically, not it's like hard paper. But there are some companies or some clients or contractors, they still depend on the hard copy and storing the hard copies, everything. That's what they are doing. So the medium also, in which it is contained, that is also considered when you are considering documented information. Both you have to consider. Okay, both means the information required to be controlled. What all information I should document? Standards will tell you to put this as document, that as document. Sometimes they will not use the word shall. If they are using the word shall, that need to be documented. Like the one example which I showed you. The scope shall be documented. That means it should be written somewhere. It should be documented, separate document or inside the manual or in a procedure. The auditor should check for these kind of documented, or we will be checking the documented informations during the audit. Our focus is this document information. Maybe we will check procedure, maybe a process chart, forms, records. All these we are going to check. Soft copy or hard copy. In any medium you are receiving, you should consider that. Okay, that is documented information. Then process. Set of interrelated or interacting activities which transforms inputs into outputs. The PDCA approach, process approach. Actually, I should use that word, process approach. Plan, do, check, act. I showed you PDCA approach, but in the beginning, I told you every standard have its own PDCA cycle. I told you. This is actually a PDCA process approach. Based on a particular process, this cycle has been created. Same PDCA. So you can see some inputs. Did you see 4.1, 4.2? That is an input. That is input. Process means there should be an input. We will process that, and after that we will get an output. That is the intended outcome of the occupational health and safety management system. Process approach. Okay. We will discuss that one. What should be the input? What should be how we are going to process? What outcome we will get? We will discuss that one. Okay. Then procedure. Specified way to carry out an activity or a process. Like I told you, for purchasing, your company have a process, but we have to specify that how we are going to carry out this operation in my organization. We will write a procedure. Step 1, request. When you get a request from the customer, what you should do? Submission of quotation. After submission of the, or after approval of the quotation, what you should do? All these things step by step we will write. All the procedures are voluntary. The company will say that I will do. And if you do not follow that one, that's a problem. I'm using the term problem, but we will define that later on. After the end of this one, we are going to define that problem. What is problem? Or as an auditor, what you call a problem in ISO standard. We will discuss that. Okay. So if as an auditor, if you want to see or if you want to check something, whether this company is following that or not, just to read their procedure. No need to check anything, any checklist, nothing. If I am not prepared for an audit, mainly what I am going to do is I will go to their organization, I will start reading their procedure. And I will ask them, okay, based on this procedure, you said that you have a form. Can you show me the form? They will say, oh, okay, I said we don't have that form. Okay, problem. Then they will say, yes, sir, we have it. Okay, that's good, very good. So these procedure is enough actually to understand an organization or to check, because all the procedures are written based on standard requirements or prepared based on the, like tailor fitting the standard requirements. Our process, tailor fitting the standard requirement. Why we need to understand the standard clause by clause? The reason for that is, if you do not understand whatever we are going to do now, what we are doing now is studying the standard. If you do not study the standard, if I am just simply telling you how to conduct an audit, what are the audits, okay, fine, you will be able to conduct an audit, you will be good auditor also, no problem. But sometimes the procedure will not meet the standard requirements. The company would have created a document, a procedure they would have created, but that will not be matching with the standard requirements. So that comparison, in order to do that comparison, we need to be competent. That is the reason why I have opened the standard and we are reading the standard. We are studying the standard one by one. So whoever asking something in your audit report and all, you are going to put references from the standard. The problems will be defined in different levels, major, minor, observation, like that. We will define these problems. So in order to define that problems in separate different levels, you should understand the standard. That is why we are some students will be, some of the participants of this training will be confused. Why I am reading all this? This is the main reason. Without reading this, if you go, you will fail. Because if the auditee is competent enough, he will tackle you. And you will not be able to, and this is the advantage, like Mansoor was saying, Mansoor, right? Sometimes the auditor is putting something, auditor is putting NC. I don't know why, I don't know how to tackle that one. So once the auditee receive the knowledge or the auditee is competent, he will ask why you are writing this. In the standard, it is not like that. So now you can ask, sir, in the standard requirement, it is not there. Procedure you are asking me to change, why I should change? Can you please give me the reason for that? You can ask them. It's not like an argument or debate, but you should challenge the auditor. Why? Tell him to give the reason. Then you can proceed whatever he say. If you feel like it's okay, fine, you can implement that. You should implement actually, because that is going to improve your system. Right. Litti, I will check whether I can share the standard, because standards need to be purchased. I don't know how many of you know that standards are not free. You have to give some Swiss franc to purchase a standard. So let me check with my management whether I can share that in Moodle account. So this is ISO. So there are some standards already here, standards. We go. But I heard that there are some standards which are free, but not 45,001. See, 45,000 family, I told you, don't play with the numbers. If you play, things can get wrong. 45,520, this is not required for you. Okay, we will discuss. So the standard, you can find it here, your standard. See how much? 158 CHF. That means, I think, wait, CHF to AED. And you can 517, 158. Okay, 605. And individually purchasing is not possible. Mostly people like us keep this one, but you can find some not proper one. This is what is the edition now? You will not find the exact edition, but you can search. Like, see, ISO 45001 2015 standard. Some companies have downloaded and uploaded in Google, so you can search for that. You will find, but I am not saying it is the exact. See, KBC China, KCB. So you can check by that also. Like as a reference, I am not saying that will be exact.
Which you are teaching us, this is your master. I mean, this is the
original one. That's the original one. But sharing the standard to the students is a question. Let me ask that one with the management.
Only the information if you will share with your students, what will happen?
That is the
management. No, you are supposed to give us the notes or whatever it is, right? Printed format.
Yeah, yes. Every notes are available in Moodle. Whatever PPT I am discussing or we will discuss throughout this training is uploaded in Moodle. Standard uploading in the Moodle, I need to ask permission from my management. We have a procedure. We have a procedure.
No, you are training somebody, you are teaching somebody, and you're not going to provide us the material. How you expect us to do the audit?
I didn't say that I will not provide you the standard. Don't
you should be realistic in approach, right? You just cannot say, okay, I have to check with the management. What is the purpose of having a training then when we don't get the contents of this book?
I'm not saying that I will not give you. I'm saying that let me discuss this with my management and I will upload.
You should know well before, right? Is the discussion required when you're training some pupils? You need to give the contents of it.
I'm giving you the content. Every content, whatever standard which I am scrolling in front of you is being recorded. Is being recorded for your reference, for your study, and the link will be provided to you for further studies. Okay. Line by line, section by section, every standard.
That's itself a standard, right? What you're sharing is standard.
Sorry?
What you're sharing then is a standard itself, right?
Yeah, now I am sharing the standard. Yes.
Yes, class, that's the end of this.
Yeah. Okay. So the standard itself, I am showing you. Whatever you are seeing is the standard itself. Separately uploading in Moodle, there is a process in my company. It's not like I take my own decision. I'm in an organization. It's not a thing. If it's my organization, I don't have to ask anyone. We have a policy, we have a procedure. So I need to take approval. So after that approval, I'm saying I will upload. I'm not saying I will not upload, or I will not be personally sending to a single person will not be possible. That is my main concern. The rest is not problem. Right? Even I'm telling you, even you can download it from the internet also. This one, actually, I downloaded from internet. The same thing I just downloaded from internet. Nothing.
Okay, please go ahead. Go ahead, please. Sorry for that. Sorry for the interruption. Please go ahead.
No problem. Okay. Okay, so now the next term which we are going to discuss is performance. So performance means measurable result. So in check stage, we are measuring the performance, measurable result. Okay, then occupational health and safety performance, or OHS performance. Performance related to the effectiveness of the prevention of injury and ill health to workers and the provision of safe and healthy workplaces. So occupational health and safety performance, if someone is asking you, you can tell that it is related to the effectiveness of the prevention of injury and ill health of the workers, or the provisions you provided to provide a safe and healthy workplace. Effectiveness. And effectiveness we have defined earlier also. 3.13 we have defined effectiveness as extent to which the planned activities are realized and planned results achieved. Effectiveness. Okay. Then outsource. Outsource means make an arrangement where an external organization performs part of an organization's function or process. Make an arrangement where an external organization performs part of an organization's function or process. Okay, that means like we always use the term outsourcing the works, something like that. Like a small part, or we will make an arrangement for the external organization to perform like subcontractors. Subcontractors is a great example for that. A small part, like it's not like we cannot do, but in order to make it more efficient, effective, what we will do, we will subcontract that. And we will tell them to come, like part of work we will provide to an external organization to perform. That is outsource. Okay.
Excuse me, this occupational health and safety performance. If you look at that awareness performance, is there any clause in the standards so that the prominent issue at the construction site is that the contractor is not paying salaries at times to the employees? It is delayed for 1 month, 2 months and all. And definitely it affects the performance. Okay. And how you can hold the company accountable for this?
Okay. Actually, in the standard, there is a requirement, a mandatory requirement that in clause 4, we have to find the internal and external issues in a company, for a company. We will come to that. That is the input of the management system. This management system also, the input is context of the organization. We will define the scope. We will find who are the interested parties. We will find the external and internal issues for an organization. So external, internal issues. So internal issues will come the one which you just now, what you said, like a delay of salary, on-time salary delivery, no provisions, no worker wellness, no facilities. All these can be included in that one. And it is a mandatory that it is a shall point. The company should define or document the internal and external issues involved, whatever it is. Interested party, already your employee is an interested party. Clear? Okay, and performance performance evaluation, actually we do a great example for that is the auditing. In auditing, we are checking, we are evaluating how we have performed. So in auditing, you can write that the external, the external issues were or are defined as, or in the external issues, the salary of the worker is considered. But in the organization during the audit, it was found that the requirement or whatever it is not followed. You can consider it as, and you can write it as a problem. The problem.
So what is the evidence you can provide? Like we cannot ask a question: is the salary paid to the employee on time or not? If so, give us the evidence. If not, they will. Are they under obligation to give us the details to the auditor or not?
Salary, because account section, being a health and safety auditor, we cannot ask the account section any documents related to salary or something like that. Show me your pay slip, salary certificate. That is not possible. But when we are doing an audit, there is an audit triangle. We are doing audit based on 3 aspects. Actually, we are bypassing. Okay, since you have asked the question, I will answer. We have an audit triangle. Any audits we are conducting, we will be following this audit triangle. So what is there in the audit triangle? There will be, during audit, we will be reviewing the documents. We will be observing the evidences. Observing the evidences, like whatever they have implemented, we will visually check or we will collect evidences. Okay. And the third one is interview, asking questions. We can ask the employee. That is also an evidence. Like just now during break, I was discussing here also. It is not mandatory that everywhere you have to provide the evidence. For example, competency. One option for competency is checking the certificates. Training certificate, whether this person have received the knowledge or not. The second provision, what we can, as an auditor, we can check is, we can ask the person about that. Not like an interview question, but you can ask or leave that one. Communicated, the OHS policy. So there is a standard requirement that the OHS policy need to be communicated within the organization to all the employees. So how you will understand that it is communicated? They will show you an attendance sheet. Okay, fine. But still, you should understand that there is an effectiveness. So what we will do during audit or site observation, we will ask the employee, do you know anything about your company's policy? What do you feel your company is following the policy or not? That time the employee will say that, sir, I don't know anything about the policy. There were incidents when I was conducting audit. I still remember one company, I asked a worker, do you know your company have a policy, OHS policy? He said, yes, I know. So can you please tell me anything about the policy? Do you know what he did? He pointed his finger to a board and said that there is a policy. So what as an auditor, I will understand, the policy is communicated, but the effectiveness is 0. With that evidence only I can prove that. So in the case which you told, the criteria which you have given me, based on that, what I will do is I will interview the employees. What do you feel like the company is supporting you? Are they providing you all the facilities? What do you feel? Are you getting salary on time? If they are saying that no, sir, you can consider it as an evidence.
Yes, sir.
Clear? Is that clear? Who asked this question? Hello? Who asked this question? Mansoor? Farooq. So is that clear, Farooq?
No, you can ask the employee the question, salary paid or not time, but that's not an evidence for us, right? Evidence, we need some document to prove that they are paying salary at time.
That's why I'm saying, in audit, based on the audit criteria, audit triangle, you can either collect a record, a form, photographs, or verbally if someone is stating that or confirming something, you can consider it as an evidence. But in the report, you have to write in that way. During the interview, the auditee confirmed that. Like that, you can write. You're an auditor, right? You will not be, you are independent, you are an auditor. So whatever you write on behalf of that can be considered as an evidence. if you write like that. It is not required that every time you have to submit, but there are certain cases. For example, policy. The client is saying, yeah, I have policies displayed in my company. That is not possible. We should see that visually. We should see the policy document, approved policy document. But in these cases, we cannot have a document. We cannot audit the finance.
And sometimes if labor can complain of our
Yeah,
system.
complaint forms are there for the company. But most of the laborers don't do that one. That is the main problem. Most of the bottom level management, they're scared to complain. Not even complain, they're scared to provide a feedback. You know that very well. You're working in an organization. How many of your employees are coming and say that, sir, I had a problem there? No one will do that. They always hide. So that the chance, maybe we can create a procedure for a complaint form, or there are some procedures and forms are available, but workers will not do that one. But internally, if an auditor comes and they feel like this person can help me, they will start talking. But not in front of your worker. But you should also know not to mention his name also in the report. If you feel like, okay, let me put his name so that the evidences are strong. No, that is not possible. You cannot mention anyone's name. But as an evidence, you can write in the report. If I have written so many things like that. Recently only, regarding the OHS budget. OHS budget. I asked them, do you have any evidence? No, sir, we don't have any evidence. I said, did you check this one or did you discuss this in management review meeting? In management review meeting, we will write what? We will write like the company have provided this much, thousands of dirham, 50,000 dirhams for the OHS activities. That's an evidence. But they didn't have that one. But I cannot, but they have done trainings. They have done all this requires money. Without budget, they will not be able to do that one. So I asked them verbally, can you confirm? I asked him, so can you confirm that you have a budget? Yes, sir, we have a budget. Then I wrote in the report, during the audit, as per the audit, he confirmed that they have an approved OHS budget. But that doesn't mean that I go, there is a finance person there, I know him personally, account person. I cannot go and tell him, can you show me the budget you approved for health and safety? That is not possible. You cannot do that.
For training, but they didn't conduct a training.
Yeah, as an evidence, you can add more. If you have something, you can add more. But
the issue during the audit is that when we carry out the audit comprehensively, we found that certain drivers, for example, they exceed the normal hours. They are forced to work 16, 17 hours a day. And that's a fatigue for the drivers. He can meet an accident anytime.
Yes.
He can go to that accident can be fatality also. There is no effective controls on this. Actually, certain companies, the drivers are forced to work 10 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours. And some drivers are cheaters also. They know how to play with the system. Some people who lacks these qualities, they work 16 hours, 17 hours, etc., etc. How are we going to control this?
It's not in the audit aspect, but as an auditor, I will tell you. Did anyone reported this incident?
No, this is I found out during the audit. When I did an audit for a contractor, I found these deficiencies. The driver was telling me that he has forced to work 16 hours a day because. And imagine if he's working 16 hours of a day and 2 hours, he has to go back to his camp and he sleeps for 5-6 hours. What happens to him after 8 days? He's stressed beyond the limit.
In the risk assessment, it is covered.
See, risk assessment, they have a lot of control points. Nobody can understand that. I told them risk assessment should be, the control point should be simple, easy to understand and effective implementation. They have X, Y, Z, so many risk assessments. I was not happy with the risk assessment.
So, so as an auditor, like we have to be diplomatic also. We cannot say that, there is a problem with auditors. I will be open with you. Every auditor have this problem. They always face. Ethics is very important. For an auditor, ethics is very important. But every time, especially like people like us, we are mainly into auditing and consultancy. But there are certain instructions provided to me. I know you are an ethical person, but there are certain places you should keep your ethics in your pocket. Instructions were given to me like that because our company runs in that business. But that doesn't mean that we will close our eyes and we will do an audit. Certain places you have to play diplomatically and you should make them do the same thing.
What ethics are you talking about? What ethics are you talking about? If you say ethics, what ethics are you talking about?
Ethics? Okay. I didn't understand that question.
No, you say we should have ethics. What ethics you are talking about when we are doing auditing?
Okay.
We are looking at the facts. We are looking at the documents. We want to implement a system. We are not going to cross our limits, right?
Yeah, but like I told you, I'm into that. Like, for example, now this case, if you report, they will not call you for an audit. So whatever you see, you have to write. Whatever audit findings you are finding or you are getting from during the audit, you have to report it as it is. That is how an auditor should behave. But in this case, you cannot directly blame on the company. If you are an external auditor, you cannot directly blame on the company that you are not providing this so and so. So you may lose your job or you may lose your project. These things can happen, and there is no value for such kinds. The only thing is you will lose your job. There is no benefit in that.
Engineer, losing job is secondary. We are doing your audit based on the standards. We are asking the company to comply with the standards, and we are telling them verbally, and we are writing them. We are documenting the same. Finish. That's the big issue. The issue is, what I'm saying is how we control this the excess committed by the company.
The excess
committed by the company, drivers forced to work certain normal hours. Drivers, some people are forced to do this work, that work, etc. without any safety things.
I understand. If you in both ways you can write. If you want to write directly in the report, you write, okay, this company is not providing so and so. I interviewed a driver. He said that he's forced to work. You can do that. Another option is you can comment on each and everything. The workers were found working more than the work limits. The risk assessment is not proper. The control measures are not clear. It need to be changed. Major NC. Put that major NC.
Implementation of control measure. There are control measure. The lacking of the implementation of the control measure is lacking there.
Yes, put as a major NC. Communication is not, because the drivers know that they should not work more than 8 hours. So if they are working more than 8 hours, sorry,
12 hours, please.
12 hours. Okay. If they are working more than 12 hours, means the communication is not done properly. So you have an evidence. It was found that the workers are working beyond, but that working hours, you have any evidence? Like they are working beyond 12 hours. Do you have any evidence?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for evidence. No, I'm looking at the timesheets, what time he counts, what time he wakes up, etc., etc. They are not providing the documentation. If the documentation is given, I can attach as a document and tell them, correct yourself. Otherwise, there will be a fatality occurring.
Timesheets and all you can ask. No problem for that. Timesheets you can ask. I'm saying not. The question was before, it was like something related to money, finance or something. Salary.
The issue is the salaries. Salaries are not coming in time. How to handle, it's beyond our limits. I have checked it. The second thing is, in the auditing part of it, is that you have to go realistically to audit to help. If you're doing the audit, it should benefit the company, it should benefit everybody, all the stakeholders. The issue is that the driver is stressed beyond the limit. Certain drivers, certain operators are stressed beyond the limit. What happens at the end of the day? He is subjected to severe harassment, etc., etc., and he's stressed beyond the limit. And after some time, it will be a fatality only. Driver will bang somebody, or somebody will bang him on the roads.
What you said is true. I know. I understand what's your concern is. Let me ask you one thing. Are you doing external audits?
Well, I did as a management representative for my office. I did some audits like this, and I complained to the management, and I took certain action also.
How was the approach for from your management?
The management, I was on the offensive against the concerned person and the management, etc. But they asked me to control my anger, but I did not relent. I gave them all the evidence, and I showed them this is what's happening in your company.
I will tell you one of my experiences which I had when I started my career. I was very ethical. I was a bold person. I'm not saying I'm not still yet. But that time it was like 100%. Whatever I see, I will write. Auditing doesn't mean that criticizing. First, that thing should be in your mind. We cannot criticize anyone that you are not doing this. That's why I said when you're preparing the report, be diplomatic. Hit them in some other area so that they understand. So indirectly they do. They understand, and indirectly they or whatever you are trying to say, they do that.
Engineer, what is the purpose of indirect? We need to be direct in these cases. You want to have effective implementation, we need to be direct.
I will tell you, I will tell the incident which happened to me. Why I am telling you to go indirectly. Every employer is not the same. Some employees, if you go and approach with this one, next day you will be sitting in your home. They will terminate you right in front of, because they feel like I don't think he is trying to improve the system. He is trying to complain. There were situations when I was doing internal audit. One of my managers, when I was working in Oman, he called me and said that don't try to change my system. Sir, I was improving. No, I don't want your improvement. Let the system runs like this. Shut your mouth and go to your seat. That was the comment he gave me. I was surprised. I said, sir, it was like I was about to cry also. I tried to improve a system. And when I started my career, another external audit incident that will surprise you. I went on behalf of a standard. I'm not saying which standard, ISO or Roshad or whatever it is. I went there. I did an audit. I prepared the time, when we start our career, we will be in that hype, like, to improve the system, this, that. I'm doing opening meeting. I'm explaining everything to the CEO, closing meeting. I'm explaining the audit findings. I prepared the report. Then after preparing the report, I sent the report, but they are not giving approval to my report. Then later on, we came to understand that they neglected my report. They said, we don't want report from this person. They called a new company. They made an audit report according to their activities. According to their activities, according to their, what they will say, the auditor will put. There are some people like that. So because of him, what happened was if I consider my ethics, I'm happy. Okay, I followed my ethics. Whatever I have to do, I did. That is the one which I have to do, I did. Fine. But my employer is not happy. My employer is not happy. He's saying that, don't do like that. We are losing the job because of you, or the project because of you. I have a family. I want to survive. So now what I am doing is rather directly hitting them, or directly writing that the salary is not paid on time. One of the person confirmed during the audit. Rather writing that, I will indirectly start like there are so many things connected to that. Now you were telling about the workers are working beyond the working hours. Risk assessment is connected to that. Communication connected to that. Incident reporting connected to that. You write everything measure. The same thing is going to happen. Everything is going to be under control. But don't think that all the employees are in that kind of a mind that when you say something, we are ready to change that one, or we are ready to take the corrective actions. No, most of the companies they are like, we don't want any audit report, just to recertify, just to do recertification. We don't have any internal audit. We don't have any procedure. We don't have any process. Just give us the certificate. We want to take some projects. That's it. We are also unhappy. I am unhappy, but no, there is no other option. If you don't do, there are thousands of people who are ready to do audit for them with less price. You understood, Farooq?
Yeah, understood.
I understand your feeling, even this kind of frustration and feeling sometimes, there are certain audits I plan, I prepare. Actually, I have 1 month given by my organization to prepare an audit report. If the auditee is a good person, I can prepare the audit report in a day. If all the evidences are there, I don't have to wait for so much things. Just write opportunities for improvement. There are certain instances where I suggested the organization, sir, I have some opportunities for improvement. This will improve. This is going to be the best one in your organization. Like that, I have given some from my knowledge I have shared. And next time when we go to the same company and we'll ask, did you implement that one? No, sir. Our management said that is not necessary. The auditor will come and say so many things. Some auditors will say that. We know that personally. What is the benefit of? But still, we will do that. We will always stick on the ethics, and we will suggest them. We will give them the opportunities for improvement. our aim is to do a good report, but everywhere it is not the same. Everywhere it will not work out. That is the main thing. And especially you are in such a situation. For example, without job, you are done. If you are in a situation, whatever your management say, whatever the auditee is saying, you will do as it is. There is no other option for you. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah.
What do you feel?
Yeah, they told me they'll remove me for the job. I said, I don't care. You do the job first. Yeah, next day I stopped all their activities. No, you show your talent, I told them. Yeah. No, you show your talent. I told them.
Okay.
They told me
that's why we have to play smart in these cases. Everyone is health and safety officer, and we
understand them very well and speak in a language they understand. Otherwise, they will kill you or they'll kill everybody. They told me they'll deport me. I said I was listening all this when I was in school. Do your work straight and pack your bags home evening. I told them.
Yeah. When I was a bachelor, I will tell you my experience. When I was a bachelor, I was like this. If they say, okay, you want to send me home, you send me home. I just don't care. But with a family, they are also with me. And there are certain situations where I cannot even talk loudly. So many situations are there where I have to keep quiet. The only thing you can suggest in this case, the one which you said, the workers are forced to work, tell them to call the labor. Or suggest them, you should call the labor. No need to worry. You have to give them the confidence to call the labor and complain about this. And the labor are very strong in these matters. And there are so many instances I know personally where the labor, the labor court, or whoever it is, the MOHRE or not here, other country, they say that, okay, you adjust. We said them several times, but they are not following. I know personally. The the employer where I worked in Oman, they failed to pay the employees 3 months. They called the labor, the MOHRE, the human resources department came, warned the company. Second time, third time, fourth time, fifth time, it's again repeating. After that, they said again, one of the laborers went and complained. The government told that several times we told they are not doing, because the top management is from the ministry. What you will do? Who will lose at the end? We will lose. But 100% is not possible, but close to 100% we can do. That is my advice. You can take it as an advice or my instructions to you.
No, there was a confrontation with the company. They went to the top management. They called me for a meeting, and I went with all the evidence and showed it to the top management, every evidence, the director. He was silent. He did not open his mouth.
Some employees, when they are silent, don't think that they accept you. Like I told you, the previous employer who was there, he's like, when I'm bringing something for improvement, I will tell, sir, this is improvement. This is for improvement I am doing. He will say, yes, good, you go and do. The day he scolded me, I took permission from him a day before that, sir, I am going to do this for the improvement of the company. Next day morning, he is coming and seeing that I am doing and helping to improve the system. He called me and said, what the heck are you doing? Sir, yesterday I told you. What yesterday you told me? You're trying to change my system? I don't want people who change my system. Get out of my company. What I will do?
This is position.
This is the reality. This is the reality. This is the reality I'm saying. But we need to do. We cannot lose who we are. If you lose who we are, then that's it. But that I told you, like I told you, indirectly we can prepare a report such that they will do that one. And ISO and all, they feel like if you are preparing reports with more problems, they will say that this ISO is making a big headache. We don't want this system. Then what we will audit? Then the system is going to be more worse, even more worse from next day onwards. There are
it hurts them a lot. It hurts them a lot when you prepare an adverse report. Don't worry about that. It hurts them a lot. During tendering, they ask for the report. When they send the report, it hurts them a lot. It hurts them a lot, but they will pretend that nothing is hurting them. But when you prepare a report with realities, with the background, don't worry, it hurts them a lot. They have to implement.
Yeah. So, yeah. Yes. Yes. We will continue. We will continue. We'll have this discussion later. Yeah. Okay. So next one is monitoring. So monitoring means determining the status of a system, a process, or an activity. Determining the status of a system, a process, or an activity. Like we discussed in the checking stage, we will be monitoring, evaluation, monitoring. We will check what is the status of the system, whether it is like reviewing, revision, reviewing the document. All these are monitoring. Okay. Then measurement, process to determine a value. All the objectives you have to prepare in such a way that it can be measured. For example, 0 accidents, that is a measurement. Our target is 0. So we will measure and check. After collecting evidences, forms, records, we will check whether we were able to achieve that 0 measured. Training hours, average training hours per employee should be greater than or equal to 4 hours. Measured, measurable, measurement, where you can determine. If you determine a value, we will say that that's a measurement. Okay. Then audit. So what is an audit? For me, audit, I have created a definition of my own. Suitability assessment. Suitability assessment. Reasonable assurance. These are the 2 definitions apart from ISO I am following. ISO is telling you that, but they have given some a definition which you cannot even understand, or which you were not able to make other people understand, right? If in opening meeting you are saying that, sir, I am doing audit. So audit means that it's a systematic, independent, and documented process. If you say big definitions, they will not understand even a single thing. So tell them, sir, it's not a failure assessment, it's a suitability assessment. In opening meeting, you should tell them, so whatever I am going to prepare after this audit, it will be a suitability assessment. Don't think that that's a failure. If the company is thinking that that's a failure assessment, that means that's a lack of competency. They don't have the knowledge. They don't know how the system works. What is this for? For them, ISO is just a certificate to get projects. What is inside the system, they don't know. So as an auditor, I always tell them, sir, no need to worry. If I'm writing something, that is for your improvement. It is nothing like that. Doesn't mean that your employees are not doing anything, your safety people are not doing anything, your other people, whoever it is involved in the standard are not doing anything. That means that they missed something, or I have something for improvement also, for continuous improvement. So make sure that whatever I write in my audit report, you try to fulfill that in before the next audit, or within a time scale, or within a particular period. Auditing, suitability assessment, reasonable assurance. Why the word reasonable assurance? Because auditing, internal auditing, okay, mostly we will be looking into most of the document information. For example, last year you have 20 training attendance sheet. You can check 20 of the documents. 20 documents you can check, no problem. But for me as an external auditor, I will be coming for only 1 day or 2 days in your organization. I will not be able to check each and every document. There will be, for example, if there is a supplier, or what document will be there? TBT, or any internal awareness trainings. There will be so many attendance sheet. How I will be able to review everything in a day, in a single day? That will not be, that will be difficult for me. So most of the auditors, including me, I am using the technique of random sampling. So in the auditing, in the opening meeting of the audit, I will tell the employer, sir, I am preparing a suitability assessment. I will prepare a suitability assessment for you, and it is a reasonable assurance. Why? Because I am using the technique of random sampling. I will not go through each and every document in an organization. Rather, I will select any 1 or 2 documents, maybe a recent one, an old one, maybe a document from 2021 or 2022. That depends. It depends upon the auditor. Maybe I will ask a recent document. That's it. Maybe I will ask an old document, or a biannual document I will ask. It depends upon that. So we are only referring a sample. So referring that sample, we cannot state that that organization is completely fulfilling the requirement. Maybe whatever document I am checking is perfect, but considering other documents, maybe there may be so many problems. Maybe they are not fulfilling the requirements of the standard. So it's an assurance, reasonable assurance stating that this company is following the standard or this company is not following the standard. So if I am writing in my report, no, there are so many problems in this company. If I am writing, doesn't mean that the next auditor will come and say, it is fine. There was an audit, still I remember from my, I think last year I did an external audit I prepared for that company. And the audit report were like 10 major NCs, more than 10, I think, more than 10, 14, 15 major NCs were there. And the closing meeting, when I was explaining the audit findings, the management, the CEO is asking, how come this? Can you check? He asked for the last year's external audit report, and I said, and he said, see, last audit report, 0 major NCs. And you are saying now, what happened all of a sudden? I said, sir, it's not anyone's mistake. That auditor have taken, or his perspective is different. The technique he would have used is different. According to my technique, or whatever samples or evidences you showed me, these are the findings. Now itself, if I go again for one more audit, or next day I come and do another audit, maybe I will not find that much major NCs. That is why reasonable assurance, suitability assessment and reasonable assurance. These 2 points you never miss during an opening meeting for an audit, internal or external. Otherwise, the employer will think that you are not doing anything in your company. They will think that. When your employer see NCs or problems in your audit report, they are mad. They think that you are not doing anything. Now it's a problem. No, that's a problem. We don't want this. We don't need this. We don't need you. Get out of the company. Like Farooq was saying, deport him, take him out. So these things can happen. So that is why you always tell them, sir, this is a suitability assessment or reassurance, not a failure assessment. Okay, so here one more word is mentioned here, audit criteria. I don't know, we have mentioned, no. Audit criteria, audit scope, audit program, all these we will discuss. Audit criteria means nothing but the reference, what we are going to, or based on what reference we were able to find, or we were able to find the audit findings. Find the audit findings. I will use that word. Audit criteria can be or should be ISO 45001:2018 standard requirements. That is an audit criteria. That is a reference. I'm going to refer that one. Based on the standard, how you perform. Whether you were able to fulfill the requirements or not. If it is not there, I will write that's a problem. Okay, then this one, procedures, policies, processes, that also I will put in the criteria. I can put that also. I will check as per the procedure, did you perform? As per the procedure, did you create the record? If you didn't create the record, that's a problem. So audit, this is the audit criteria. What we are going to, or based on what we are going to check, your workplace, your office, your client, whatever it is, or your site, whatever it is, you can, that reference documents or what reference you are going to consider for the audit is called audit criteria. Audit criteria. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Then conformity. If
Can you
you
be
are
more specific on audit criteria, please? Checklist can be audit criteria.
Checklist, actually, we are preparing based on the requirements of the standard. Based on the requirements of the standard. For example, in clause number 4, they have written that the scope shall be documented. The scope shall be documented. So based on that, I will prepare a checklist. Checklist we are preparing so that we don't miss anything. So in my checklist, I will say that clause number 4, context of organization, scope. Which one? That can be in the manual. So the record I need to check is the manual. Manual, I will write in the other column, manual. So criteria is not checklist, but whatever it is, the reference we are putting, based on that, we are creating the checklist. Audit checklist. Clear?
Oh, clear, clear.
Okay, good.
But sometimes something is written in the HSC plan, but the organization don't implement the HSC plan. So there will be an NCR for this.
Yeah, like plan in the sense, which plan? The manual?
Yeah, in the manual.
Yeah, manual. That next point will clear that doubt for you. Conformity. Conformity is a fulfillment of a requirement. Fulfillment of a requirement. So requirement we saw the definition of requirement. There are standard requirements, procedures are there, processes are there. All these we will consider as a requirement, right? Audit criteria also we will write everything. So if you are not following or not fulfilling the standard requirements, that shall part. Standard requirement, when I'm mentioning, means shall. Whatever in the standard, wherever you see shall, that is mandatory. The auditor should check that. If you do not find any evidence, or if you're finding evidences based on that, we will say that is a conformity. Conformity. But as an internal auditor, you would have seen more, rather conformity, you would have heard the word non-conformity, which is non-fulfillment of a requirement. So if you are not following a standard requirement, we will write non-conformity. Just before that, I was using the term problem. That is called non-conformity. Major non-conformity, minor non-conformity, observations, then opportunities for improvement. All these are not non-conformities, but all these are the status which you are going to put. If you are not following the standard requirement, shall part, we will write that is a major non-conformity.
Standard of the company or ISO?
ISO standard, not the company. Company will create a manual based on the standard. So based on the standard, we are creating a manual. So you feel like something written in the manual, the company is not following. You have a doubt, check the standard. So if in the standard, the company, okay, the standard said that the scope should be documented, or like Farooq was asking, external and internal issues. The external and internal issues is not addressed in the manual. That is a standard requirement. So what status it will get? Major non-conformity. Major non-conformity, because the standard requirement is not followed in the manual, or is not mentioned anywhere in any documents. So what is that? There is a major non-conformity. You are not fulfilling the standard. You can put a major non-conformity. If you are not fulfilling a legal requirement, that is a non-conformity. Like the one which he said, 12 hours. 12 hours the worker can work, but the company is enforcing or forcing him to work beyond his working hours, but no overtime, nothing. Are they paying overtime, Farooq? Hello? Okay. Overtime or whatever it is, maybe 2 hours.
Overtime they pay to the workers.
Yeah, they are paying.
Yeah, they are paying workers.
Okay.
Not to supervision staff, but to non-supervision staff, they get overtime.
So the legal requirement we have to check. How overtime, mostly we say 2 hours, not beyond that. Okay, beyond that you can do. Beyond that you can do, but that much break you should get in between. And next day a compensation of or something like that you have to provide. Plus overtime. Overtime plus a compensation of or something like that. And we as an HSC officer, we clearly know that how many hours we are working. Certain days. When some accident happens, there are sleepless nights. Sleepless nights.
Yes.
Even 24 hours you will be inside without sleeping, roaming here and there. How I will solve this? Did company will pay overtime? No. They will say that you created the incident, solve. You are here to advise us, advises. This is the reality. This is the reality. Actually, that is a non-conformity, but we cannot say that. If we say that, out, tata. This is your last day in your organization. Happy you were here, we are there. They will say some good words. Maybe they will not even pay you their balance salary. They will say, thank you for joining. It's a good thing. Enjoy. Best for your future. These words they are going to use, nothing else. Only for one non-conformity. But I am not saying you should not report. You should report, but a twisted way. And we know that very well, how we are playing with them. Right? If they say we will not give, okay, so no problem. You don't give. Next day, we will stop any work at site. Then they will understand, okay, now it's a problem.
Yeah, if the major accident happens, if consultant didn't see us, we don't report.
Yeah.
We hide it.
There were instances, I still remember when I was a safety engineer, I always tell them, the management, sir, we need this, we need that. No, it's not required. There is no problem. You go there, sir, but this is mandatory. This is that problem. This is. Then they will say, no, we cannot do that. Amit, directly. Several times we are telling, why can't you understand? Sir, okay, no problem. I need an evidence. Can you write this on a paper and give me? I will tell my manager, can you write this on a paper and give me? That's it. I need only this one. Because next day any accidents happens at site, I will be the person responsible, right? They will ask who was in charge, who was monitoring the activities. I have to answer. Then that time, if I'm going and say that, sir, I asked them several, they will ask, where is the evidence? Show me the evidence. When we say that, sir, can you please write on this paper and give me? They will say, oh, I cannot do that, sir. How you cannot do that? I cannot record, I cannot take videos also. You just write on your letterhead with your signature and seal and give me that. My part is done. I'm happy. I will do whatever you say. I'm here to follow you. I'm the person who, to whom which you have. I have to report to you also. Then 2-3 times, if we say like that, they will say, they will understand that either I do for him or I give them the resources or whatever he's asking, or else letter. Rather letter, they will think that I will give him, let him do. Okay. It is possible. But they also fear. If they go and ask the top management, they will say that, okay. They will not think that I have asked. Some managers are like that only, right? Some top management are like that. Okay, so non-conformity and conformity, again one more time. If you are fulfilling the requirements, we will say conformity. If you are not fulfilling the requirement, we will say that's a non-conformity. Any standard requirements or legal requirements, if you are not fulfilling, we will label it as major non-conformity, major problem. That's a major problem. Then, if you are not following your own procedures have been created by you. You said, I will do this. And if you are not following that, you can label it as a minor non-conformity. Any ineffective controls which can lead to a non-conformity, that is called observation. So you can label them, the non-conformities, in this format. Ineffective controls, like for example, fire extinguishers or adequate fire extinguishers are available in your organization. Pressure level is good. Maintenance is being done semi-annually, but no inspection. Like monthly inspection we will do. Internally we do that one. No inspection is doing. Forms are there, everything is there, procedure is there. Or you are doing, but not monthly. Whenever you feel like, you go and do. You will go and do. So that is an ineffective control. You don't have control over the materials or the fire extinguishers which is kept in your organization. So that ineffective control can lead to a non-conformity, right? But you will find certain 2-3 extinguishers without any proper pressure gauge or something, then that means it's a non-conformity. That can be a problem. You can label it as an observation. This observation can lead to a minor NC also. Same topic, same area, repeated violations, like repeated minor. For example, you are not following the procedure. Same like fire extinguisher. Adequate fire extinguisher should be there. It should be inspected. I am seeing when I'm inspecting here and there, so at discrete locations, I found 2, 3, or 4 extinguishers with without sufficient pressure. Lack of inspection. According to the procedure, inspection should be done. So all these are minor observations, minor NCs, right? Minor. 3 minors I got, 3 extinguishers without pressure. If I find 1 more extinguisher without pressure, that is a major NC. So 3 minors, up to 3 minors you can accept. You can write for the same topic. No inspection conducted for, or no appropriate inspection conducted for the fire extinguishers as per the procedure. Minor non-conformity, no problem. But repeatedly you are finding in 3-4 places, that is not a minor NC. Now it is a major NC with the same comment. Several fire extinguishers were found without sufficient pressure, according to the procedure, at different or at discrete locations, major NC. You see how the label is changing. the conform. Same thing, but different label. Based on based on not fulfilling or non-fulfillment of a requirement, we will change the status or we will label them accordingly. Clear? Then incident. What is an incident? An undecided event, right? Or we will see here, occurrence arising out of or in the course of work that could or does result in injury and ill health, which can result into injury and ill health.
Why they have different definitions compared to Nebsoh?
Yeah, Nebsoh have the one which I said you, an undecided event. The reason maybe because of the suggestions, like I told you, this is not a person's opinion or from a dictionary. Maybe every member countries would have told that incident, if you mention here in this standard, it should be like this. Nebsoh is not even related to ISO. That's another organization, right? IOSH is another organization. OSHA.
Yeah.
So, like I told you, incident have so many. That's a broad term. I have one definition: undecided event. That was my definition before I started reading. But when we started reading, what was that? Occurrence arising out of or in the course of work that could or does result in injury and ill health. So injury, so they are saying that incident means if it is involved, if any injury or ill health is involved, we can say that that is an incident. But normally we do not consider that. If according to this definition, near misses we cannot consider, because there is no ill health or injury involved in that one. Near misses will not result into any injury or ill health, right? Near miss, we missed, nothing happened, right? So, but this is the definition you have to follow when you are auditing an ISO standard. Clear? Okay. Then corrective action. Corrective action is happening in the which stage? Act stage. A corrective action, preventive action. Based on the monitoring or evaluation after the audit, the auditor is saying that you have to correct yourself. Correct. So that corrective actions we are going to take in the act stage of PDCA approach. Plan, do, check, act. Act stage, we will take this decision or we will do this activity. So what is corrective action? Action to eliminate the cause of a non-conformity or an incident and to prevent a recurrence. So any non-conformity, whatever you find in the observation, you find in the audit report, we have to take corrective actions. Or if there is an incident means, according to the definition, ill health that can result any incidents, that any activities or occurrences that can result into ill health and injury. We know that any small first aid case also we have to take, we have to investigate and we have to take the necessary steps. We have to again review the risk assessment, right? Review and revise the risk assessment. First aid case, why? Or any near misses also we say. We have to investigate them. What is the reason? Lack of training or ineffective control measures. There can be chances. So based on that, we have to take the corrective actions. That is, they have clearly mentioned that one. What is our objective? To prevent reoccurrence or recurrence. It should not happen again in my organization or that particular area or for that particular activity. That is our main aim for corrective action. Some companies have a procedure for corrective and preventive actions. They have registered for that. They are preparing corrective action report also. After audit, keeping that audit report as a reference, they will create a corrective action report. Like in the audit, what is the comment or what is the non-conformity and what is the action we have done? What is the time period we have taken, or is there any time period? Who is responsible for that? We will create a register for that, or we will create a report based on the corrective actions we have taken for the non-conformities found during the audit. Clear? Okay. Then continual improvement. Recurring activity to enhance performance. Any activity, PDCA is actually, I told you, or OHS management, its main aim is for continual improvement in the aspect of health and safety. So here, any activity, any recurring activity, if you're considering, and that can bring or that can enhance your performance, you can say that that's a continual improvement. That's a continual improvement. Okay, like reviewing the risk assessment. It's a recurring activity, right? We will, any incidents happen, we will do that. Okay, a simple one, policy. I told you, review your policy yearly. That's a recurring activity. Every year it will happen again, we will check, again we will check. Every year we will be keep on checking to check that this is enhanced or it is going to enhance the performance. Policies will change sometimes, depends upon the context, right? Corona comes before that. For example, legal register also, there is a requirement. There is a legal register in which all the legal requirements we will put. There is a requirement from the standard that it should be reviewed at least annually. If we are not reviewing the legal register annually, in UAE, so many laws have been updated, which need to be removed or modified in our legal register. If we are not doing that, it will not enhance our performance. It is not going to bring continual improvement, right? We will still stick with the old law and we will keep on going. So many things changed. So many things have changed, right? Law has become strict in the case of employees and employers. So that changes you have to make so that we will enhance the performance, continual improvement activities, any recurring activity. Okay. So these are the terms and definitions that has been given in ISO 45001 2018. There are some other also some definitions related to audit we are going to discuss in ISO 19011 2018. That standard also I will put, and we will discuss that also one by one. Based on that only I have created my PPT. The PPT or the study material which I have provided, I am showing you, is created based on the ISO standards, the management system, which we are going to discuss. Mostly, rather going into my PPT, I will show you the standard, because this standard you should learn how to read standard. Most of the students don't even want to read standard, which makes me unhappy, because reading standard is difficult. It's not easy. Sometimes you will get confused, sometimes you will forget, sometimes you feel like why they are putting shall, this, that. I don't understand which document they are asking. Are they mad? Why they are making it like so difficult? So this confusion students have. So I want to avoid that. So next time also, if ISO makes any changes, you cannot go and attend, okay, let me attend 41 or 42. Then you have to attend transition training. Before 45,001, there was 18,001 IOSH. They were also lead auditors. So it is not like they will, okay, let me attend ISO 45,001 lead auditor again. Why? He have already spent some money, right? So they will attend a transition training, 18,000 to 45,001 transition training they will attend. So what are the changes from 18,000? What are the changes between 18,001 and 45,001? That they will discuss. They're already competent. Only the changes is required. So this is going to help you also. Only thing is you have to read you should know how to read a standard. Then you can easily understand. Every topic we will discuss one by one. What are the documents? Line by line we will study. Okay.
Do we need to by heart the standards?
No. This is where experience is going to help you. In a day, I didn't study the standard in a day. It's not possible. You know how you will be able to by heart, or it will be very hard to recollect. So keep on going one by one, you will understand. It's not in a single day it will happen, but the more experience you gain, you will understand the standard. Why I have more knowledge in the standards? Because we create documents for companies. So every line I have to read. Every line I have to read, and I'm reading whenever I'm preparing a document for a company to ensure that they address each and every point in every clauses. That is the main reason. So no need to worry. Keep on doing audits and all. Whenever you are doing audit, before one day you just go through the standard. What are the key points? The shall points. See, shall points. Address the shall point. So I'm not saying you to like Farooq said, there is an audit checklist which you can use. There is an audit checklist which you can use for audit based on the standards, which I am doing. I took some time to read the standard. Based on that, I created an audit checklist. Using that audit checklist, I am doing audits. External auditor checklist, I will show you. Records, which record you have to check, which form you need to check, what is the procedure or manual, I will show you. In the Moodle account, there is already a checklist uploaded, right? Already a checklist uploaded that I will suggest you to use in your internal audits. Internal audits, that will be a descriptive one. You will not understand document or record or manual or process chart. What evidence I should provide, you will not understand. But you can use that as a checklist.
The checklist is a standard format, or every
No.
company will be having different kind of checklist?
That's self-generated, self-created. My checklist will not be the same for other auditor. He will be having a separate checklist. His technique will be different. My checklist I will show. I will share you. Next class I will show you how my checklist looks like. Every standard I have. Wherever I am going for an audit, before that I will create 2 checklists. One is fixed one, based on the standard I want to check. Second one is based on the procedure of that particular company I will create. Why it is so? Because standards will say that at least once in a year, there should be an internal audit. That is a standard requirement. But certain companies, they will be having a procedure that we will conduct internal audits twice in a year. You have quarterly. Some companies have quarterly audits, internal audits. So that is a question. So if I go with the standard, I will find only one, but I cannot check the performance properly. I cannot evaluate them properly. So for that, I will create a secondary checklist based on their procedure, what they have written. So in the audit close, I will write, okay, audit close, I have to check their audit reports or audit reports, pro audit or frequency of audit. I will check the procedure. I will read the procedure and I will find that, okay, this company is having a quarterly internal audit. Every quarter they should conduct. If they are not conducting quarterly audits, that is a non-conformity, minor non-conformity. They are not fulfilling the procedure requirements or the procedure, whatever they have created. So I will write what? Minor NC. Standard requirements is 1. So once in a year, if they are doing, okay, fine. But they said that, no, we don't need 1. We need 4 in a year. And if they are not doing that, that means that's a non-conformity, minor non-conformity, deviating from the procedures, requirements of the procedures. So 2 checklists you can use. That depends upon you. If you are lazy, go with the main one. If you want to be more, like you want to show some good skills and you want to really wanted to improve, then a secondary checklist I will suggest. Personally, I keep my own, but that's not a requirement. That's up to you. You can create your own technique. This is my technique which I am using. So I will take time to read their procedures. That will take time also. So time is also a requirement. Clearly, team.
Yes, sir.
Okay. From this part, any questions you want to ask me? Any questions? Okay. So auditing.
Let me ask you one question, sir.
Yes.
This is it. Can I, based on the information that you've given me so far, considering the standards of ISO, can I go ahead and do an internal audit for my company where I'm working right now, following the standards of ISO without following the procedures? I just want to see if you can.
I'm sorry, I'm cutting through. Can you please repeat the question one more time? You want to audit the present organization?
I'm personally, it's not like an official business.
You want to practice?
Yeah, practice.
You know, there is a
and
problem.
I follow the standards that you've given me so far, the ones that you talked about here, discussed for the past 2 hours.
No. I will tell you. I will tell you one thing. It is not necessary that you need a certification, ISO certificate. There are so many companies in UAE, they are following ISO standard or ISO management system standards, but they do not have a certification from ISO.
Well, what I'm saying is, can I practice auditing based on the standards that you have given me so far? Because we've been discussing standards, right?
Sorry?
We have been discussing standards of ISO.
Uh-huh.
Can I follow these standards to do an internal audit for my organization?
Your organization have an ISO certification?
It doesn't matter whether I have or not. I just want to practice personally.
No.
Following the standards, I know the work management system of my organization.
If you, no, seriously, listen, if your company do not have an ISO standard, all the process, if you have, your company is following an ISO standard, okay, fine. All the procedures you will find there, you will find the procedures, like you will find the procedures related to the standard. Your company do not have an ISO, right?
Okay, now if before I even tell you whether they have or not, you told me that your checklists are based on the ISO standards. 1, 2, they are based on the company procedures.
No, the question is not clear. I mean, your voice is breaking. I'm not
sorry.
able to.
What I'm saying, I hope you're hearing me now. You told me when you are going to do an audit, you have two checklists that you create. One is based on the standard of ISO. And the second one is based on the company procedure.
Okay, let me repeat the question. When you are going for the audit, I told that refer the procedure and the standard. So you are saying that which one you should go, standards or the procedures?
Standards.
Okay, actually, when you are going for an audit, internal or external, both you should refer.
Internal.
Yeah, internal or external, both the standard requirements and the procedures you should check.
Yeah,
so I mean, you should
yeah, thank you very much. I just want to follow what you have told me today to go and see if I can do an internal audit for my organization personally without them knowing. I just want it for my practice. Is it okay to follow what information you have told me today so far?
Davis, right? Davis, I cannot, your voice is breaking. Can you type on the chat, type in the chat?
It's okay.
No, I will clear because my speakers are now in full sound. The voice is breaking. There are some disturbances and I cannot hear properly. Can you type the message just in simple words?
Yeah, I will type the message. Let's proceed with the class.
Okay. Message and I will explain. Do message. Don't leave without. Otherwise, I will be thinking the whole day what you asked, and I was unable to answer. Okay, so write. Put the message. I will explain. A little bit I understood, but mostly because of I don't know. Maybe because of the network. It's very unclearly. I'm not getting it clearly. The question. Okay, put the message. We will discuss. Okay. Before leaving, I want to discuss a single topic, and after that we will leave for today. The types of audits, which is very important. So there are 3 types of audits mostly we will see. First party audit, second party audit, and third party audit. First party audit, we say internal audits. Actually, there are 4 types of audits. One type is not standardized. The other 3 are there. First, second, and third. There is one more point called self-assessment. I will tell you the difference. So first party audit, the other term which we are using is internal audit. Okay, that means the company or every department in the company will check how they are performing with respect to the standard requirements and the procedures. They will evaluate themselves. The company. And you know that you cannot audit your own department. You know that, right? The health and safety department cannot audit their own department. That is called self-assessment. Before going for an audit, we will assess our department, how I am performing, whether I have all the documents or not. We will use the checklist to check whether I am following or I have documents as per the documents, as per the requirements or not. That is called self-assessment. You are auditing your own system. But that is not standardized. I mean, if you go and say, I have done self-assessment, please give me the certificate. That is not possible. That is like we will preparing for the audit. We are preparing for the audit, but after or we will go for an audit internal or external, after a self-assessment. Same thing we are doing. Internal audit, in internal audit, maybe the quality department will come and audit you. You will go and audit the quality department, right? So health, HSC and quality, they always keep it separate. IMS only, together they will be working, but the quality department will be auditing you, or you will go and audit them. You cannot audit, or you cannot conduct internal audit for your own department. What will happen if you do that? You will manipulate. You will manipulate, and surprisingly, you will not get any chance for improvement. An external auditor will come and write big points, and you will get surprised. Your manager will say, in the internal audit, we didn't have anything. But how, when the external auditor came and found all these things? That will be a big question mark in front of you, and you have to answer the management, if your management is serious. So make sure that you do not do internal audit for your own department. Someone from, that's why in the audit team, internal audit team, there will be everyone included, from quality, from health and safety. Some companies include accounts also, to make sure that they have the sufficient budget for the OHS. But no other, nothing else. Okay. So make sure that someone competent enough. He should also be he should have attended an internal auditor training also. He should know. Otherwise, the person who do not know anything about health and safety, he will come and say full non-conformities. He will get mad. You should understand. You should make him understand your processes, your procedures, so that he can come and check accordingly. It should be open. Don't hide anything. Then only he will be able to write a good report for improvement, continual improvement. Okay. So first party audit is internal audit. Second party audit is an external audit, or external audit, we used to say. For example, you have a supplier for your company. You have a supplier for your company. And you want to make sure that they are following the requirements. What are that requirements? That is not standard requirements. That is contractual requirements. So in second party audit, we will never check the standards. We are going to check the contract. You will make a agreement with them, right? So if you are supplying, you have to make sure that you have this form, that form, so and so. So that requirements we will check with the supplier. We will go there and we will check. We will check their health and safety aspects. A contractor auditing a subcontractor, a consultant auditing a main contractor. All these are examples of second party audits. You can be a second party if you want. That doesn't mean that you go and check every items in their office. No. Based on the contractual requirement, you can check. Consultants are doing like that, right? Are they checking the ISO standard? No. They check whatever you said in my contract, you follow. They will come and check. We said that in our contract, every communication with us, you have to keep a register. Do you have that register? Yes, sir, we have a register. Okay, compliant. Conform, conformance, conformity. These words you can use. That is second party audit between vendors, suppliers, contractor, consultant. So you can be a second party auditor. You can be a second party auditor. Everyone cannot be an external auditor. You can be a second party auditor. You got me? Okay. Then third party audits. This will be conducted by a certification body. I am an approved auditor for Brixton Assessment Services, which is a certification body in UAE based on London. It's a company from London. So I am their certified auditor. I can conduct audits. You cannot do external audits. You are a lead auditor, but you cannot conduct external audits. You understood? But I can conduct external audits. I can come and audit your company. If you're calling me, sir, we have an ISO certification from anywhere. So can you please come and audit for me? Yes, sir. On behalf of Brixton, I will come and I will give you certificate with Brixton label. TUV is there. So many companies, certification bodies are there. So not on behalf of TUV, I cannot provide that. I can provide a certificate on behalf of Brixton Assessment Service, which is mainly we are taking certificates from you. So I am an auditor from that certification body. I can be a second party auditor. I can be an internal auditor also. You people, I'm mentioning clearly, you people like Zishan, Farouk, Liti, or Davis, you people can be an internal auditor. You can be a second party auditor, but you cannot be a third party auditor unless you receive an approval from the certification body. Me, Amit Joshi, I am a external auditor. I have approval from the certification body. I can conduct external audits. At the same time, I can conduct internal audits. I can conduct second party audits also. Internal audit, some companies, if they do not have, for example, I said there are a single person owned companies are there, but he do not know anything about health and safety. He do not know how to conduct an audit. He will say that, Amit, can you please come and do an internal audit for me? I will say, yes, sir, I will go and do internal audit, but I cannot do external audit for that company because I already did internal audit. I have to call a separate auditor from other certification body or a separate auditor to come and do the external audit. I can act as an internal auditor. I can act as a second party auditor also.
How to become a third party external auditor?
Sorry?
How to become the external auditor?
You need experience. You need to show, you have to join such an organization and you can certify and you can certify from them. Like Brixton, I got certified after I came here. I was a lead auditor before. So after coming here, Nbiz made me apply. I applied for to Nbiz, Brixton assessment, and through Nbiz, I have taken the approval from Brixton assessment service. So anything related to Brixton, I will be responsible. I'm directly, I can even hold the certificate. I can recommend, I can suspend the certificate for a company if it is required.
Okay, understand.
Clear? Okay. Now Davis was asking a question. I want to practice an internal audit for my organization. Is it okay to proceed with the information you have taught me today based on the standards, strictly not procedure of the organization? It's like based on the information today, which I provided you, you cannot conduct an audit. We only just discussed the framework, how this is working. But the processes and the procedures we haven't discussed. Close by close, when I discuss, then only you will be able to understand. Davis is hurried to practice, but you can monitor now how this system is happening. When we get into closes, I will teach you what are the records you should check. What are the evidences you should collect when you are conducting an audit. Based on that, or after this training, you will be able to conduct an audit. We will do practice also. I have some working questions which we will practice during the training. Maybe 4th class, we will practice that. We will do an audit. Okay, I will bring some documents and let us do an audit. I will be your auditee and you audit me. Okay. Mostly, you know, auditing is very easy. Being an auditor is very easy. But to be an auditee is very difficult. When someone is coming and audit you, it's a big headache. I have an audit next week. I have audit for Nebsoh. Brixton also audits me. So, you know, it's a challenging part when you are the auditee, because they are coming and are going to ask you. Obviously, if you are an auditor, they will ask you 1,000 questions. Even if we will feel like I have done 100%, there will be something you will be missing, which will be major. No minor, no observation, no opportunities for improvement, one minor. There were audits I have received non-conformities like that, which we neglect, or maybe some auditors connect also. That is an interesting part. I also practice that one. For the auditee, that will be an observation. But when I start connecting the standard requirements, that will be a major NC. One fire extinguisher, I have given major NC for one company. When I connect with their procedures, that's a big problem. Repeated violations, and I gave a major NC. They asked me why, and I explained to them. I said, like this also you can think. I said, anyway, I can think. It's just my perception. And if you want to improve, you can take. Otherwise, I will put a minor and I will leave like that. Some companies demand that. Okay. Clear? Anything? Any questions based on first party, second party, third party audits? Clear? The concept is clear? Okay. In certification, we have two audits, stage 1 audit and stage 2 audit.
Okay.
So it is like first the companies will start preparing documents. They will write the procedures, everything they will prepare, and they will start implementing them. After implementation, they will call or they will approach a certification body. So we want to get certified. We already have the procedures. We have started implementing that. Can you please come and do audit for that?
In first stage, we have to ask to the third party company
For preparing the documents. Yeah, it's not mandatory that the third party company should prepare a document for you. You can prepare also. There are so many companies, they prepare documents by their own. But mostly what the organizations are doing, that they will go to a third party and they will say that, can you prepare documents for us? So we will prepare documents for them. And we will send them all the procedures for review and the forms for review. Then we will ask them to start implementing them. Based on implementation, we will start collecting evidences, or we will start recording the evidences, all of them. Then before a certification, like it is mostly a 6-month process. So by 3-4 months, we will start implementation after preparing the documents. So with the 3-month duration after implementation, we will go for a stage 1 audit. So in stage 1 audit, we will be monitoring or checking the documentation. We will check the documentation. This is not for you, for an external auditor. But you will hear these terms, or you will be a part of stage 1 and stage 2 audit. So in stage 1 audit, the auditor, the external auditor or the certification auditor from the certification body will come and check the documents, the procedures which you have created. They will ask you questions based on that, how you feel, how you work, what are the problems you faced, feedbacks, anything they will ask. Based on that, they will prepare a report. Stage 1 certification audit report. Okay, then stage 2. Stage 2, maybe after 3 days or 4 days, 1 week, 1 month, he will come and check how you have implemented them in your organization. Signboard, signage, audits, reports, everything they will come and start checking in your organization. They will check the effectiveness. After implementing, how is the effectiveness, or how the effectiveness is, or how the client is managing the system, everything they will check. And based on that, what they will do, they will prepare a stage 2 audit report. After stage 1, stage 2 audit report, we will certify the organization. We will create a certificate on behalf of Brixton Assessment Service that this company, for example, Nbiz Infosol, has been approved for ISO 45001:2018 occupational health and safety management system. At the same time, scope of your company also we will write in the certificate. That we will discuss. What scope we will write, we will discuss in our next class, but scope will be there, when the certificate was released, when it is going to expire, when the recertification process should start, surveillance, when the surveillance should be done. So one more new term I'm going to introduce you is surveillance 1 audit, surveillance 2 audit. Before that, ISO certificate is valid for 3 years. If you are taking a certificate in June, what's the date today? Today is 2nd July. 2nd July. So 2nd July, if they are issuing a certificate, the certificate will be valid for 3 years, and the expiry will be on 1st of July 2025. 1st of July. 2nd July, you got the certificate. 1st July will be the expiry. Every year there will be a surveillance audit. That means 1st July 2023, 1st July 2024, there will be surveillance audits, mandatory. Surveillance audits are like, the recertification is going to happen after 3 years. So anything can happen in between.
Yes.
So ISO is saying that you check, every year you check that the system is working perfectly or not. Yeah. So based on in the surveillance report, we will say that it is recommended that this company Nbiz is recommended to proceed with the certificate. If you are not fulfilling the requirements, they can put the certificate on hold. You start implementing, then we will release. Again, we will go for an audit, and if you are satisfied, we will release the certificate again. Otherwise, we will send a certificate mail that you are not supposed to display or submit the certificate given by the certification body Brixton Assessment Service, as you are not fulfilling the requirements. We can issue. Second surveillance audit will happen the next year, 1st July 2024. At least before 2 months of the expiry, we will start the recertification. When is the expiry? 1st July 2025. So 1st July, June, May. Not May 1st, we will go for April 30. 2 months before, right? So April 30, 2025, we will start for the recertification. And within this two months, we will complete the recertification and a new certificate will be issued. Recertification, why 2 months? Means the same stage 1, stage 2 audit will happen. And then only they will give you a new certificate. New certificate with the date 2nd July 2025 as the certification date. Clear? Stage 1, stage 2, surveillance 1, surveillance 2, recertification. Clear? This is the certification process. Clear? Anyone have doubt? Any doubts? Okay. There is one more audit which is not mandatory, but like I told you, sometimes we will surveillance 1, we found that it's total disaster, total damage inside the organization. They are not following. So I said, we will give them time to implement it again. After implementation, we will again go for an audit. That is called a follow-up audit. In your company also, you will be doing a follow-up audit. Some companies, not everyone. Like for example, internal audit you conducted. You found some non-conformities. Based on that non-conformities, you created a corrective action plan. Right? Corrective action plan was taken. Like for example, what is the time period? Who will do that one? What is the plan? How we will remove the non-conformity, or how we will fulfill the requirement? Everything we will write in that plan. Corrective action plan. Okay. So after corrective action plan, we need to again check, right, whether we have complied or not, whether it is we have followed the requirement, fulfilled the requirements or not. That audit is called follow-up audit. We will not again check the whole system, only whatever are the non-conformities, that only we will cross-check. That is called follow-up audit. Follow-up audit. Clear? Clear? I'm saying clear. Okay. Then sometimes we will do multi-site audits also. I had a group of company last year, or at the starting of this year. Group of company I audited, but they have one day but different sites. So we will go like NBHH. I went for collecting evidences in Banias in Riyadh city. Actually, they have so many sites. So I will write in my audit report or plan. I write that I only evaluated, system is same all over the organization, but I cannot go everywhere. The one site is there in Ruwais, one is here. How I will go and come from Ruwais and Riyadh city in a day? That will be a long and lengthier one, more expensive for them also. So considering that, like I told you, random sampling, I will only go to Banias and I will collect the evidence. That's it. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. So any doubts, please ask. This is that's for today.
Okay.
Any questions? Anything you can ask now. This is the time we will utilize for that.
Sir.
Yes, Anas.
Yeah, it's the same. You are told that you are working with Brixton. If the Brixton can do the same, prepare the documents for the company and do the audit for the same organization.
Brixton cannot do that one. Brixton will not create any documents for any of the companies. Brixton is a certification body. They cannot create documents. Nbiz will create document. And for example, I'm an employee of Nbiz, but I am an auditor for Brixton. So what we will do is one of my colleague will prepare documents for you, and I will come and audit. I cannot prepare it is not like I will prepare the documents for you, then I will come and audit you. That is not possible.
Yeah, that's
I cannot do that one. That is not possible. I'm an auditor, right? So one of my colleagues will prepare the documents for you, and I will come and do audit on behalf of Brixton. Documents like the procedures, the policies, the plans, manuals, everything, and this will create. Checklist also.
What's your full name?
Amit Joshi.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm just leaving now.
Okay, fine.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any questions? Okay, then we will wind up. Thank you. We will join in the next session and we will go in more details.
Next weekend is off.
Next weekend is off. I'm not sure about that. So any changes, our the training coordinator will inform you. Any changes or when is the next class, they will inform you. No need to worry for that.
Who will do the next class?
If you like me, I will do. If you don't like me, I will send another one. Huh?
No, we like to. That is why.
Okay, then it is better you give the feedback to the training coordinator so that they tell me to do the training sessions.
Definitely.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Enjoy your weekend. Good day.
Boss, are we going to have this recorded and sent to us? Like
yes,
the
class which is being already recorded, and I think it will take some time to process. So just be patient.
Course, yeah.
Tomorrow or day after tomorrow you will receive, because tomorrow is a holiday. So holiday means week off, but you will receive the YouTube link for this recordings. Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you guys for joining. Enjoy your weekend. Good day. Bye.
Bye-bye.